Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. You know what time it is, buddy. Let's wet it.
Be a simple weatherman.
We're so lucky that we actually get to talk to this particular gentleman and get him to kind of give us guidance.
Yep.
And it made me think of, with some of the different depressions and things bubbling out there, it makes me wonder if he wants the names to be like Harry and then like Sally, so when they come together, he can say when Harry met Sally.
Yeah.
Or maybe not.
We have Mike from Mike's weather page here today. How you doing, Mike?
Great, man. We did have Sally, and I put a picture with Burt Reynolds in the Trans Am.
Oh, yeah.
And I made a funny meme that said, hey, Breaker 19 Snowman, we got Sally. Because, I always try to have fun with the names.
Your wife sent me that meme. I enjoyed that. It was a good one. I love a good meme.
Today's weather report, of course, brought to you by ABC Fine Wine and Spirits.
Indeed.
Hashtag TDABC. All around Florida, you guys know where your local ABC is. But
if you're looking for White Claw 70, you didn't hear this from me. Very hard to find at a lot of grocery stores.
True.
Easy to find at ABC.
Yep. So Mike, I know that it's been busy. I've seen the memes of some people talk about, hey, take a shot each time some weather person says the tropics are heating up, all that stuff.
And then this morning, is it Teddy we have now?
Teddy, and you know what? Now we got Vicky. Vicky popped out of nowhere. So we're down to one more name before we go Greek.
Wow, man.
So let's talk about the storms that are out now. I know over the weekend we are experiencing bad weather, and you guys in Tampa were taking a lot more weather than even here in Central Florida, but we were getting all the bans and stuff. So what's going on with that storm?
Well, it came across South Florida, and just this morning it's really starting to blow up. It's Sally, Tropical Storm Sally. And there's a lot of question marks on it. It's strengthening, and what they're worried about, it's going to be a slow mover. And we haven't had a slow-moving system this season. There's always been that one slow mover each season, like Florence and Harvey. They're expecting 25, 30 inches of rain possibly, as this thing is running into a high-pressure system, and is just going to kind of stall for 24 hours. So this is potentially a pretty serious storm heading up toward the upper Gulf Coast, Mississippi, Alabama, parts of Louisiana. Not only surge, but rain. 25 inches of rain is nothing to mess around with.
No.
So, Mike, when it comes to a storm system strengthening, and is there an amount of time that is like, okay, it can't strengthen this fast, so it has to take at least X amount of hours for it to go to tropical storm to category 1, or have we been seeing
That's like a conditional equation almost, right?
Strengthening faster is there time frame wise, how long does it take for a tropical storm to strengthen to a hurricane,
Right. Well, what happened with Laura just a week plus ago, Laura strengthened. It was almost nothing coming off of Cuba. And it reached category 4 quick, and it was less than 3 days. So, all of our category 5 hurricanes that have ever hit the United States have been a tropical storm just 3 days out.
Okay. So
that's a scary stat. And I relate that to everything in life. Like even my daughter playing softball, she's going to high school. Everybody peaks, football, baseball, you want to peak at the right time, wrong time. Well, hurricanes can only maintain that strengthening trend before they weaken a little bit. And what we're seeing with the Sally and we saw with Laura was they're peaking at the wrong time as they're making landfall. And back to your question, with this one we're dealing with now, Sally's probably a day away from being like a major hurricane, but we could still be looking at a category 2 hurricane nearing category 3 landfall tomorrow because of this peaking at the wrong time. And they just, his systems can't maintain an intensity that long before they go through these cycles and eye wall replacements. So that's what we're seeing this season so far with our first 2, big storms. And EA kind of did the same thing. It wasn't a strong system, but it reached 85, 90 miles an hour, and so did that Hannah. So that's been the story this year is strengthening systems at the last second.
Yeah, Now, you mentioned something before the show started. I found it interesting, and you were like, I think people are having a hurricane hangover because no one's really, it doesn't seem like the Sally and some of these other storms are making that much like news, or people aren't talking about it as much. And I wonder if it's like first big storm hits the United States, and we all kind of like, it's like we're all anticipating it, and then it happened, and then after it's over and people are cleaning up, and people are like, all right, well, we're now that that's over with, we'll go about our lives. But meanwhile, there's all these other storms coming.
It's like getting that first ding on the side of your car when you get a new car.
I think also there's just so much other things going on. You know, with the fires in California and the pandemic and politics.
Even locally, I mean, like just little storms like that little tornado that ripped through DeLand. I finally saw that this weekend, and man, that was bad scary.
Right?
Yeah.
Holy moly.
So, Mike, have you seen that where people wait for the first one to hit, and then after, like, almost downplay or kind of not pay attention as much to the rest?
Oh, totally. And I always used to say fall in football, it seemed like people turned off the tropics. It's like when we're in May and June, there's so much hype about, first day of hurricane season and getting your plans and your preps, and you see specials, and it's all over the news, and it's on every grocery store and Walmart with their, Lowe's, they have their displays set up. And then as the season goes on, it's almost like people just, okay, it's over. And you're right. After that first big one, I think mentally people just shut off. They're just wore out from tracking them. And I'm definitely feeling it with this one. I don't know if it's because it's not a hurricane right now. By tonight, it could be. But right now it's a tropical storm, and there's just not a lot of media coverage, and media likes it when they're big and bad. And that's kind of what we're at. I've seen it a lot over the years. The media focuses a lot on wind events. They don't ever give the flooding systems much love. And that's, if you look at statistics on damages and homes, even deaths, water related is 80 to 90% deaths with hurricanes. Inland flooding is almost half. So we're looking at an event here developing for Sally for the upper Gulf of 20, 30 inches of rain, and that's going to be the bigger story.
Of course, yeah.
No, and that's not exciting to the news. I mean, they want to see the winds come across the beach and, blow some houses around and blow the sand. That's where they're at. No media coverage is inland past landfall, and those are the poor folks that usually are the ones that suffer the most.
Oh, and that water is so slow moving and so strong and so powerful.
Yeah.
And it just
or
comes
damaging.
Up, it just it's unstoppable.
Yeah. The news just wants the shot of the stop sign wobbling super fast in the wind. You're like, who gives a F about a stop sign?
That's not scary to me. What's scary to me is watching my entire. Oh wait, I'm not watching my home because it's completely covered in water.
Oh yeah.
Well, Hurricane Harvey, I guess, and I had to Google this a couple times. They had hundreds of thousands of homes inundated with floodwater. Not thousands, hundreds of thousands.
Wow.
And that was 40, 50, 60. I don't know what the official inches were, but it was 50 or 60 inches of rain fell in the Houston area from Hurricane Harvey. And those are stats that, the media a week later, they forget about it. And it's like those people were flooded for months.
Oh yeah, and not only that, like, and you're right, people, like, you put 2 inches of water inside your whole house, and everything is ruined. Like, so people, when they think of flooding, they're like, oh, you're literally drowning in your house. You're trying to escape through the attic, like a Katrina situation.
That's terrifying.
That is terrifying and it's horrible. But like, if you just put a couple inches of water inside your house,
a lot of damage.
I mean, not all the floors, all the cabinets, all the mildew, the mold, and then if entire communities get the insurance slow down, and it could be months. Like, think about how miserable it is to have your house flood and then have to rip everything out, and then there's no contractors to fix it. You're on you're a waiting list for any, because thousands of houses or hundreds of.
But I do love the giant shop fans that they use to dry everything. I'm a big fan of those. Because those are great.
You're a big fan of the fan.
Yeah, easy to sleep during. It's not hot inside at all or gross. Yeah, it's
nice. Thanks.
And nobody wants to deal with it. I mean, insurance is a nightmare after. And flood insurance. One of my supporters, 80%, I guess, of Harvey victims didn't have flood insurance. I don't even have flood insurance. I mean, I'm stupid as it sounds. these are things, obviously you can't buy them now because the system's out there, but yeah, we're seeing areas flooded that don't normally, you keep hearing about these 500-year floods, 1,000-year floods. So I'm seriously going to get some flood insurance because, rain, you don't mess around with water. Right. You can hide from the wind, they say, but you got to run from the water. The water can really screw like you said, everything up. It's not fun. And that's what we're looking at. We're gonna see this come Wednesday, Thursday this week. We're gonna see some pretty horrific videos coming out of Mississippi and Alabama from Sally. I can bet money on it.
So I saw the Keys got a lot of flooding too from this tropical storm. What about some other activity? I know that there's other systems coming off of the west there as they normally track east. So what else are we looking at?
Well, the NHC map, we have 5 named storms on the map, which is almost record, I think. We have Paulette, Renee, Teddy, and Vicky. But Paulette hit Bermuda last night, and it's going to be moving away. So luckily, nothing else is on any path to the U.S. We do have another area coming off Africa, and we're only middle part of September. This week was peak season. September 10th is statistically the peak of season, and everybody's just, like I said, hurricane hangover, man. We're done. But we're halfway through the season, and unfortunately for Florida, I'm definitely not hyping anything, but man, Florida's had we're October storm central. I mean, we've had more storms in October because we get areas of low pressure developed down in the Western Caribbean, and that water is just bubbling hot. And even though, we're in the fall, Hurricane Michael, Wilma, there's other notable, Michael was just a couple years ago, and that was October. So unfortunately, we still have a lot to watch, and all the signs are showing that the conditions are ripe, which we need a vacation, seriously.
Yeah.
So, Mike,
for sure.
Speaking of that, I'm curious to what your routine is at this time of the year when there's so much activity.
Well, I was watching him. Basically, I've been watching him every single day. It looks like you've been doing nothing but broadcasting all the time.
So tell us about your routine as far as which storms. Do you check the storms that are more probable to hit U.S. first and go back down from there? Do you go through them all, check their...
what's your workflow?
Yeah. Well, obviously people love long-range tracking. So when we have a threat developing maybe 10 days out, I'll start showing the models, and we'll talk about it. I mean, a lot of people like the speculation. So when we don't have a system, I do a lot of that. But now that we have systems, that's obviously the number one issue, especially with Laura, and now we're dealing with Sally. And we have a lot of fans in Bermuda, and Bermuda has 80,000 people. So when people, forget about Bermuda, they just got hit by a Category 2 hurricane too. Daily, there's always models. The hurricane hunters are always flying. It starts for me usually at 5 o'clock in the morning. We'll get a new NHC advisory. And then 6 o'clock, there's a new GFS run. And then 8 o'clock, we get an intermediate advisory. And then spaghetti models at 9. And it just keeps on rolling. 11 o'clock. It's like every hour there's a new model. 12Z models come out at around noontime. The Euros at 2 o'clock. Next thing you know, it's, NHC time. So it's a grind of keeping up.
That's a ton, man. You grab all those, and they're being updated. And then
people want it, too. That's the thing. My base loves doing what I love to do, and that's just like you become one. It's the weirdest feeling in the world. You got to stay with the pulse of a storm, and you just can't report every 6 hours.
Yeah. I like your guys too in your chat room. I've been watching a lot of them because I've had a lot of time to kill.
Yeah.
So I was telling Mike even off the air that when I watch him, your guys, your drunk donkeys in there, they'll comment and they'll say really intelligent, good things about the storm. It's I like how it's seemingly more informative than even what you would get on the news at all.
Well, your BDMs you call them, right?
Yeah, our BDMs.
Okay. Well, we're MWPSs now. I call them my MWPs, Mike Weather Page supporters.
Love it.
I feed off of those guys and girls, actually. I mean, and they're smart. They're smarter than me, a lot of them. I just report the weather, and a little common sense here and there. But we have really engaged users.
They're great.
And I love it. We have a little private message board for supporters. And I'm actually paying a lady, Shelly, really nice Facebook mediator that keeps it drama free.
Nice.
She's pissed some people off, but this is what I didn't even know that people are out there to do this, and it keeps it weather only. People love it. It's a safe place to go, and they only talk weather. So yeah, we feed off each other, and I think what's very wholesome for me is every storm now where we have fans that are living it. At Laura, we had people that left and came back to nothing. I mean, literally, they're sending me pictures. Their house is gone. We had fans last night in Bermuda sending me videos. So that's what connects it, and it's a good escape. I mean, weather is away from everything else, and people love weather, and this is a weird addiction, I'm telling you. And that's what feeds me 20 hours a day. I mean, I disappear and go to softball with my daughter, and I feel lost and disconnected because I'm away for a few hours, and you miss stuff.
Yeah.
You have to, like I'm reading right now. I know this is going to show tonight, but the pressure's already down to 984. So within an hour, the pressure's dropped to now they're going to have to start talking about Category 2, maybe even major hurricane. And this is where people want data now. They want to know it. They don't want to wait till 11 o'clock news or 6 o'clock news.
Yeah, because obviously preparing for a Category 3 is way different than a tropical storm, and you need to know that days. And because, I mean, just to get your house prepared, the insane amount of work, or to flee, or there's a lot of stuff.
Just to move, get out of there.
Mike, I know we've talked about this a little bit before, but do all the different models, do they track their success in predictions? For instance, like, with each storm, like all the models have their track, and is there some sort of maybe third party or do they do it themselves where they're able to, all right, we were accurate within 50% of the storm's trajectory or whatever, or like, therefore at the end of the storm season they can actually look at one model,
like which
one's the most accurate,
to see which one did the best.
Is there anything like that?
They brag. There's a lot of scientists that are always uploading these models, and for sure, man, every year it'll come out who was the most accurate this many days out. And Euro, we talked about it before. The Euro used to be king. I'm telling you what, this year it's been terrible, the European model, and that's what's getting a lot of these weather forecasters screwed up, because they're not living like I am, reading every model and recognizing models that have done good early in the year that used to be laughed upon. I joke that they're the new Euro, and now this storm especially, it's proving that the ones that I've been following, because I have that gut feeling of what's been working this year, and you'll see that some years that the models are just computed differently, and so the end of the year it'll come out, this model outperformed this model, and that's why the NHC blends all the models. Like every time that they do a discussion, whenever the NHC does it at 11 o'clock and a 5 o'clock advisory with a new cone, they actually reason their cone on what the models are saying. They'll say, well, the HMON is this far west, the Euro is this far east. We took a blend of the two average. I mean, so they're justifying their decisions on the models. And, it's really fascinating because at the end of the day, nobody knows what these things are doing. I mean, so you got to just take your best guess and use every tool you have and use a little common sense along the way.
So, but why, like, okay, to me, because I'm trying to understand it, right? So, like, how the models work, and I'm sorry to always go back to gambling, but, like, I know a lot of gamblers use models, and they have these complicated software that they put in to figure out what the line should be.
It reminds me a little bit of Deadliest Catch, too, where they don't know where the crab are, but they're pinpointing based on models from other years.
Yeah.
And they're, this worked that season.
But to me, so, like, when you got football models or your gambling models, there's so many different variables that are at play here, and then you got human beings that who knows, and then there's injury and stuff you can't even account for.
Free will.
But with storms, and I know that there's a storm, like the weather systems change all the time and stuff. That's why it's so complicated. But you would think that because, like, they know that, all right, this will do this.
So you feel like the variables are more concrete in weather.
And then as technology gets better and AI get better and stuff, where you could start accounting for these things, and technology gets better, where it can get better and better. Are you finding that the models are getting better and better and more accurate, or is it still willy-nilly, and there's constant changes that throw them off.
Well, the discussion I hear a lot is the reason the Euro and GFS are struggling is I think they're overthinking things. I mean, there's so many people, scientists, maybe complicating things to the point where you can't predict Mother Nature. I mean, you get these old school weather guys. You can feel the moisture in the air. You can smell rain. I mean, I'm a Floridian. I could smell the rain coming. It's the weirdest thing ever. So I think these models are overcomplicated, and sometimes they're putting too much faith in what they think are updates, and then they have to reassess at the end of the year. So this year has been terrible for models, like terrible. Like the Euro showed Isaiah over by the Yucatan as a weak wave, and ended up being almost Category 2 hurricane up in the Carolinas. And this is things that haven't happened in the years past. So the only thing I can equate is they're just overcomplicating things every year. They're trying to make things better, and I think they're making them worse, and that's not good.
Sometimes with more technology and more knowledge, you feel almost the need to you're invested. You feel like you have to use that knowledge, right? But maybe you don't.
Here's the thing.
Maybe it's not as much a factor as you think it is.
Mike, when I was watching the movie Twister in the 90s, and I saw them drive the garbage can full of the mini robots into the Twister.
Yeah, like ping pong balls, right? There goes a cow.
It was like it was like a standard metal
and who
garbage
was driving
can.
it? Wasn't it? It was that guy that killed himself, Truman Capote.
He jumped out of the truck, and then
he was also the gay guy in Boogie Nights, right?
I love Boogie Nights.
I'm confusing the movie, I think.
Anyway, and
Philip Seymour Hoffman, wasn't he in Twister? Or no?
Am
I thinking somebody else?
It was the
he was the goofy blonde-haired guy.
No, he may have been in there. Yeah. He drove the tank.
Yeah, he drove the truck.
Yeah.
I like Helen Hunt. I had a crush on her.
Oh, me too.
Helen Hunt and the main actor, what's his name?
Bill Paxton.
Oh, Bill. They hated each other.
Oh, they hated each other.
And,
that's why they had to film the ride in different locations.
Anyway, I thought that they would have better, because when I saw that in the 90s, I was like, oh yeah, for sure they'll be releasing robots. They'll be like, we'll be able to track these things perfectly down.
Like, I'll drop a bomb in them and stop them.
This is pre-internet, by the way. So it's amazing to me that you're saying the models have gotten worse or they've been inaccurate.
I think it's too much information. I think that they're feeling.
But aren't supercomputers doing this? Like, why are human beings involved in these models?
No.
Well, like last year with Dorian, right? I made a simple statement that it's going into warm water, no shear, September, October, come on, right? And models were barely showing a tropical storm. And I was just and I had a guy prank call. I don't know if I told you the story, but like midnight, I had a weather guy just call the house and he goes, hype, hype, hype. He just went on for like a minute saying the word hype because I was saying this thing's got a chance.
Hold on.
That's crazy. You mean Tom Sorrells called your house in the middle of the night and prank called you?
You have a TV.
Hop. This is not Tom Sorrells.
You had a TV weatherman call you and try to troll you, prank call you like
drunk Danny Trainer,
like he's Bart Simpson. Why? Is it crazy?
People take their weather serious. Let me tell you. But again, common sense, and that's what I was saying. It turned out to be a Cat 5. So
I don't like you being bullied. This means war.
So Mike, are you telling me that like now, because I could see there being a divide between like maybe old school like weather purists and then like maybe the new analytics guys, and not to go back to gambling again, but there's that like the analytics guys are like new school. They just gamble through pure analytics and like and then they clash with the old school like guys that know the team.
They still get the paper. And
yeah. So are like analytics weather guys clashing with some of the old school? Like you said, it's like, hey, this hurricane's going into warm water. There's no shear. It's going to be strong. And the analytics guys are like, no, on the analytics state that it'll not get stronger. So do you see that?
Oh my God! And Twitter, I've slowly got into Twitter, and Twitter is definitely a mix of the scientific minded, and they do bring up words I've never even heard of, but they overcomplicate it. I'm telling you, just like what we're seeing now. The storm yesterday was supposed to strengthen. There was no shear. I wake up today. Oh, Sally's got a lot of shear around it. Well, now they're just talking about it blowing up like they don't know what's going on. So it's like, I look at things and I'm like, well, it's just not vertically stacked. You could go on one map and see the low-level winds and the mid-level winds. Well, they weren't stacked. That's all I say. Well, now they're stacked, and guess what? It's growing. These guys bring up stuff out. That's why they went to school. But again, I see whether it's like saying 50% chance of rain. Half the people are going to get rain, and the other half are not. And everybody's going to be mad because they didn't get the forecast they wanted. Yeah. And that's kind of where we're at. It's like it's every system you can go back and say that everybody was wrong.
You need to get on. I know you're rolling out on Twitter now. You need to get on that TikTok and start doing the weather.
Oh shit! Excuse me. I tried.
No, you're good. Do some weather dancing. I
tried. Oh my god, I tried. And I love embarrassing my daughter.
Yeah, we did.
I did some. I thought they were pretty funny. I'm trying to.
And your daughter shot you down. She's like, "You're embarrassing me."
She was until I ended up with more likes than she did.
Mike, what does your family think about what you do? Because you have, what is
He's like a normal guy.
What's your Facebook page now? It's past 1 million likes, right?
My God. Yeah, it's more the local stuff. We'll be just walking in a restaurant and somebody will be like, "Hey, what's up?" Or softball field, or I get stuff mailed every day. I don't know. I get gifts now, and people send. I was online 7 hours watching landfall of Laura, and I had a fan bring me sent Uber Eats of wings and a whole $100 worth of food and apps.
God.
We were talking about seltzers one night. Next thing you know, the doorbell rings. I got 4 12-packs of Bud Light seltzers showed up. So it's
goodness.
The fans are just.
But the trade out is in the middle of the night. You get the hop. Yeah. You get some guy. Yeah.
He don't get the seltzers.
Tom Sorrell's calling the middle. Can't stop himself. Has to call.
No, the funniest story was the other day I put on there the peak of hurricane season. I put on there I quit because we had 7 systems.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I had 2,000 comments. My wife goes to work at Publix and she had vendors. What's up with your husband? My wife told me that your husband quit, and then she went somewhere else, like at the nail place, and they were talking about it. So it's crazy how small the world has become.
Man.
Yeah.
It's scary, but I've not met any. Most 99% of the people are cool, and I'm sure you guys.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, without a doubt.
And
I think my people become my people. Like we're the same, and I'm sure your people are the same, and so it works,
Yep. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's people constantly talk about it. Social media is horrible, and the internet's horrible and stuff, but it's really what you're looking at. I'm saying if you look at only the horrible stuff, it's gonna seem horrible, but like you said, this is your business, and 99.9% of the people you meet are good people. Same thing with us too. It's like the trolls and the haters are they're the outliers that you shouldn't pay attention to.
Yeah, no, I love it, man. I do. It's what inspired me, I think, to really take it to the next level and get more involved, because it's like it fuels you. When you get that interaction. And I met my wife in the late 90s on AOL. I was addicted to AOL chat rooms. I used to go in there as a kid, and you know what? That's where we are 20 years later. The interaction is what fuels you. I love it.
My God, you and I may have shared a moment back in the day.
Yeah, because Daniel would go in there.
I'd go in there and
I'd be like F for female.
18.
M4F or something, wasn't it? Or
I would go female 24. Look, let's get to talking. Who knows?
I was burned so many times.
Oh,
man.
I might have burned you a few times. I might have been in there.
I had my heart broken.
Do you remember a woman known as Low Pressure Sally? I should have thought of a different name than Sally. I blew it. Man, it's always good talking to you and getting the lowdown on the weather and what's going on, and we certainly do appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks. And like you said, ABC is great. I got a beer coming out I can pump because ABC is going to sell it, so you can buy it.
Let's talk about when is that happening.
Stoked.
It's going to be soon. It's with Big Storm Brewery. They're pretty big dogs over here. It's going to be called the Hurricane Hunter IPA. It's after our dog.
Nice.
And it's going to have a hurricane theme. It's going to be, I guess, a hazy tropical IPA.
Sounds good to me.
Awesome.
Yeah, man. man, 7%.
I like Big Storm. I was one of the first craft beer people that even our good friend Justin got me involved in because they were local. I believe they're Jacksonville or no?
You mean Justin Poppy or whatever?
No, I'm saying Justin Clark from our cook. Clark.
Yeah.
My brain
Cigar
is
City?
dying right now.
That's fine. Don't worry.
They have 3 or 4. I guess they have a lightning beer. They're with the Bucks. Yeah, they're pretty big dog. I'm very excited, very humbled.
It's going to be awesome, man.
Yeah, and I'm just excited, man. It'll be the icing on the cake to walk into a store one day and see a beer with your name on it. Well, you guys have a beer. We talked about that. So.
Well, it was we only sold it out of a trunk.
Yeah. Ours was.
It's like come here at this time. Anywhere, any other time you cannot get it. Impossible.
It is fake beer.
But so yeah, when that comes out, Mike, we'll talk about it and we'll tell everybody which ABCs, of course, they're going to be sold at. And we tell everybody, check out on Facebook Mike's weather page. He does broadcast every day.
I get my alerts. It's how I know that he's broadcasting.
SpaghettiModels.com. Mike, it was great talking to you, man.
Yeah, you guys rock, man. Thanks. I appreciate this opportunity, and it's a lot of fun. And we'll be doing this. It looks like for a few more weeks at least. Unfortunately.
Yes, sir.
100%.
Well, take care of yourself. Give everybody some love there, and we'll see you soon.
All right. See you guys.
All right.
See you, Sam.
Take care.
Bye.
He's a good guy, Mike.
He's very nice.
Everyone I'm talking to Sam. It's the first time he's done that. You're supposed to stay in the shadows.
Oh, apologies.
To me though, the pressure though, especially like right now when there's so many different systems and stuff like and everybody's relying on you to like tell me what's going on.
You can tell he sounds tired. He's been working his ass off, man. He's been working his ass off.
So it must be difficult. Any job that's seasonal where like you have certain times of year where it's just raining, you're hammered and stuff. Like that's I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want to be like, here comes my hard 2 months.
We're about to get it because I just rented this place. It's a Spirit Halloween store, and we're gonna. And we're the smallest one. It's bad. It's gonna be real bad.
All right, let's take a break. Bye. Welcome back to Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. With technology, Tom, we are able to beam individuals into our studio. Almost anybody you can think of can be beamed into our studio via the Zoom or the old Skype.
And to talk about the COVID comedy tour, which I've been seeing.
Comedy jam.
I
think it's a jam, not a tour.
I guess you're right, yeah.
A tour would mean
happening one time. Yeah, you're right.
A jam is more singular, and it's jamming.
You're right. I apologize. COVID comedy jam. It's happening this Friday, and
do you see how passive aggressive he said that?
He doesn't like fun.
There's gonna be some yelling at me after the show, and Larry, our guest, Larry, this guy, he'll start.
You want that tour?
Yeah. He's gonna start yelling at me. He's like, and then
never correct me out there.
And yesterday he's yelling at me. He's like, I never wear a mask. Don't tell me to wear a mask. I don't believe in this. Larry Fullford's on the line, everybody. Live where are you in LA right now?
No, I'm in Florida right now.
You're in Florida? What are you doing here? It's just as bad.
There was a pandemic, so
but
I'm a pandemic refugee.
We knew Larry from when he was here, and then you went out west, right? Yeah.
No, I actually ended up in Chicago.
Yeah, you were.
That's
right. You were in Chicago, and because the people that are super talented in Orlando usually go to bigger cities to be more super talented. They don't usually hang around, hence the reason we're here.
Yeah. We stuck our stake
Holding
down.
it down for you, Larry.
We're like, Orlando, we'll take it.
What is it?
Only option you have.
Well, I stayed. The only reason I stay here is for the multiple hotels near the theme parks with homeless children in them. That's why I stay.
I have no choice.
Yeah.
This is as good as it's going to get.
Well, you're one of the homeless children that stays in the hotel.
I'm like, I can make a living here. I'm staying a whole lot of that.
Got to put down roots.
In fact, then I can work my way backwards. I'll go into Polk County and then back, and then all the way down to Plant City. The worst.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Plant City.
Well, Larry, you're
no plants in your city.
Comedy has become kind of a different thing. and I see a lot of my comedian buddies on the social media talking about it, and you're in 2 really good, really amazing virtual shows. You have one on the 17th. Sam, I'm blanking on the name. It's called... I guess I could ask Larry, but...
What do you want from us?
Yeah, what do you want from us? So you've got
That's
one on the 17th. Now, explain that particular show, because a lot of familiar names that our guys know, that we are friends with, and the kind of the catch is, and from what I'm told, that if I tune in, I have a say.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was What Do You Want From Us? I actually came up with a few years ago. It's a stand-up comedy show where I get 3 other comics or 4 other comics, and we bring our jokes. But I set up a voting website because nothing is funnier than voting, and the audience actually votes on what they want to hear. So the comics all know what their joke might satisfy, but it's actually up to the audience on where the show goes. So if the audience wants it darker, we go dark. If they want it lighter or talk about your relationship, we do that. So it's weird. Cool. It's like a video game.
Yeah, I like that.
Are you worried, Larry, that the audience always wants to ruin everything that they're watching? Because it's true, like an audience, and I even...
Well, you and I have always loved that more than anything.
Yeah.
The old radio show we were on, there's nothing we loved more than trying to ruin it.
Yeah, and when you, especially now, if an individual may not want to ruin it, but when an audience together feeds off each other and then they want to ruin it, I don't know why. It's some psychological thing where so I feel like if you ask the audience, like, hey, what do you want to hear? Like, they want to go to the worst possible subject just to see if you can get past it. But are you banking on that? Or have you found that to be true?
So the weird thing about this show is we ran it live twice in Chicago, and then when this pandemic struck or whatever, a buddy that was on that show was like, hey, man, this might be one of those instances where this works as a virtual show. So I've only done it live once and virtually once. And the thing that I've learned is that the audiences in both cases definitely wanted darker and definitely wanted dirtier, but it doesn't seem like there's been a coup to ruin the show yet.
Okay, all right. But
it's still new. That's definitely a possibility.
I feel like everybody wants darker and dirtier in their mind. They think they want that, but then when they get it, they're like, oh, too far.
Right.
They ask for it, but then when you give it to them, they're like, whoa.
I want that. Too far.
Maybe they have to ask for it twice to give them the real.
Yeah.
Ask once and I'll spice it up a little bit. It's like when I get a curry or something, they never make it as spicy as I want it to be.
Or they don't even imagine how dark comedians can get, because I know every comedian I know can get as dark as just so bad. Because me and Daniel do it to each other. We say the worst possible things to make each other laugh.
There's a lot of damage
there. Yeah. And I feel like you couldn't really go as far as...
That's why you tune in. That's why you be a part of it.
Yeah. What's the limit?
See, the beauty of this, too, is, What's that?
I was going to say, what's the limit as far as how bad you can or willing to go, and how dark you can get?
Oh yeah, so it's each show, like this show this Thursday is actually cool because it's like an Orlando comedy reunion, and each show is catered to those comics' jokes. So those comics send me all their jokes, and then I go, oh, this looks filthy or this looks whatever, and then that would satisfy the dark one. At the live show, we went pretty dark once, so I don't know. It's totally up to what I get from the comics, and then it's up to the crowd as to what they get to hear.
Yeah, and then on Friday, the big one, and another reason you're here is to talk about the COVID comedy jam that Tom he embarrassingly called it a comedy tour.
Well, he's an old man,
which is just which is, I guess you and I are we're even, since I said Larry was in LA. I'm keeping.
You guys are terrible.
Yeah, well, we're gonna fight after this, with weaponry. But tell us a little bit about that, because again, people that we know, but also a couple of larger named comedians have made that bill as well, right?
Yeah, it's so it's going to be headlined by Michael Rappaport, who's a huge actor, comedian, does those funny little videos and stuff now.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess it kind of is a tour in a way, because everybody kind of is beaming in or pre-recorded from all over the country, which is kind of neat.
Take that, Dan. I told
hold
you
on
it
a
was a
second.
tour.
He's also just being nice
Hold on,
to you.
is it a tour? It's a
No.
goddamn jam.
It's a tour jam.
Ew.
Ew.
So, and Larry, with doing, okay, it's, you can't do...
It's Mr. Fulford.
Sorry, Mr. Fulford.
Jesus.
He also can't say his last name.
I could say it. I just choose not to. So with doing stand-up virtually, it seems like you have to do a version of stand-up. It can't be what you're used to doing, right?
Well, it isn't what you're used to.
Yeah. Explain that to us.
So I've only done a handful of little virtual shows, like mine included, so that kind of feels like a cheat. But it's stand-up. It still feels like you have to do stand-up because, I mean, people miss stand-up and want to see comedy. They just kind of can't right now safely. What I have found, at least for me, is I just kind of look at my webcam or whatever we're doing it on and just pretend that I'm looking at a room of 100 people or whatever, and try to remember what it was like to be on stage so I can give people like the best possible weird show, you know? So it's like an adapted stand-up, I guess.
So you're still, are you envisioning how the crowd, because obviously you've worked on your art for so long, you know kind of where the jokes fall or what the rhythm and tempo is, and you just remember it, because without the live audience, the energy,
you're
there's nothing,
creating your own tempo.
Yeah. Right? Is that how it works?
That's what I've tried to do. Like I've seen people, like I watched Eddie Pepitone do a virtual show, and he was like leaning into the like he was really utilizing the camera and the distance and stuff. For me, I just kind of fall back in line with like, this is how I remember the pacing of this joke or whatever. And in some cases, like if it's a Zoom show, some of the hosts will let the audience, as long as there's not a lot of noise on their end, they'll let the audience mics and cams be on, so you can see people laughing and you can get a little bit of a feedback that way. Yeah,
I've seen that with like some of your larger productions. Let's take like wrestling, WWE for instance. They've done seemingly a decent job.
I saw that this weekend. It's actually pretty cool.
They've run these like lines of screens with technology, just, curvable, small banner screens. And then they've stacked them like stadium style, so you can see everybody's face.
It looks like people are.
It's pretty damn ingenious. And from, if you're high and don't have your glasses on, it looks exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
It's really no different.
They're figuring it out.
It's, and Larry's right. It's that level of respect and non-noise and not disrupting the flow. Right. Not heckle. That's the part that's going to be hard. Is that active microphone on during the Zoom thing? I think we can, we probably have the technology now to put people in, seats virtually, but it's just the microphone aspect. The feedback back to the comic. And that's got to be hard, man.
Also, I feel like everybody is worried about going full bore and investing too much money on like doing things to 100% virtual for only like in a year or so.
Free vaccine at Walgreens.
And then it goes back, and then you're like, oh, what am I going to do with all these monitors?
I've got 40 of these huge banner screens.
Yeah. But there's going to be some of this that sticks around, right, Larry? Like, I imagine that just like working from home and something, like some jobs won't go back to like big buildings anymore, and like so it'll change a certain amount, but I'm fully confident that like stand-up comedy will be back with live audiences, and this will not be a forever thing, although there's gonna be things that branch off from this that stick, and the people that have gotten used to it and are good at it, and that it like lends more towards their comedy anyway, I think they'll be, they'll stick to that, and then all the other stand-ups will go back to live audience, and but this will cause some sort of branch off that will be here forever, right?
I think so. It's actually funny. I was talking to a buddy of mine the other day, and we kind of talked about that. Like, I think some of these, like this little show I'm doing on Thursday, I think lends itself to, it's a goofy show already, so it lends itself to this weird virtual world, that what do you want from a show? And then I think there's kind of pros and cons of, first of all, stand-up comedy, live stand-up comedy will almost certainly come back. I mean, there are people trying to do it safely right now, like spaced out patio shows. Yeah. But I think there's something that you can get from a virtual show. Like Carmen Morales is doing the show Thursday. She hosts a thing called Social D, like usually twice a month on Saturdays. And she's getting bigger name comics, and the Zoom allows for like a meet and greet sort of vibe. You can. It feels kind of like you're hanging out with like Ron Funches or something, and you can't get that if you just went and saw Ron Funches. So I think if there's a positive to the virtual, it almost makes it a little bit more intimate in a weird way. You can get something out of it that you can at a big live show. I very much miss big live shows.
Yeah.
Let me say that.
I'm not saying they're going to do, but
we know.
I think there's going to be a space for both moving forward in the future.
And elements will probably be borrowed and enmeshed in some weird way.
So, Larry, real quick, how can people watch the show Thursday and Friday?
So Thursday, it's at 9 p.m. Eastern. If you go to it's facebook.com/ what do you want from us, just spelled out that way. There's ticket info there. They can Venmo me $5, or there's an Eventbrite page for $6, and they get a link to the Zoom room to watch the show, and then a link to vote to have your voice matter where you want the show to go. That's Thursday, and the links will go out Thursday around 5 p.m. Friday, it's a free show. If you go to, it's through Mo DeWitt. So if you go to Just Call Mo, there's like a registration thing. It's free. I think that's actually streaming out to Twitch and maybe YouTube as well.
Yeah, I think that's even just because we work so heavily with Yellow Brick Road. That's going to be on our Twitch channel as well.
Yeah.
It piggybacks, so it'd just be really easy if you're used to going to our page.
It'll
to
be
watch
live
the
on
show.
Facebook, their YouTube, and on our Twitch channel as well.
Awesome. Well, hey,
Facebook.
Larry, thank you so much for the time, man. We always appreciate it. Stay safe, stay healthy. Good luck with the shows, man. And we can't wait to do big comedy shows. See ya.
Yeah.
And hopefully get you back in person in here to sit on the couch.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, man. It's great to see you guys.
All right, man.
This weird way.
Yeah, absolutely. Take care of yourself. Stay safe. We'll talk soon.
All right, guys.
All right, man. Take care. That is Larry Fulford.
All right, let's
live
take
from either L.A. or Chicago or both.
Oh, God. Bye-bye. Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We neglect our email, Ben. And if you would like to send us an email, show@tomanddan.com. A lot of times that's even easier than leaving a voicemail or calling. If you want to leave a voicemail or call, you can. There's two ways to do it. You can use our app. Just search Mediocre Time or Tom and Dan. It's totally free.
Speaking of our app, there's a merch section on our app, or you can go to tomanddan.com under merch. We got a ton of new merch. We got new high-quality masks. We've got...
I got a really good email about those masks. Those masks are phenomenal.
Oh, yeah. We got...
so comfy.
New whiskey glasses with Corporate Time and Tom and Dan on the bottom.
Right. We got two new BDM shirts, one for the men and one that's a women's baseball tee.
Awesome.
Yep. We got BDM flags. We call them boat flags, but they're little 2 foot by 1 foot or 2 foot by 18 inches. Perfect flag for whatever,
We also have new BDM coasters. We have the Van Dennis 2020 yard signs. Please buy those. We did not sell a lot at Johnny's. I was surprised.
It poured a monsoon.
True.
We're going to have those if you want to go to Six Flags Mulch or to Sunshine State Threads, which is right next to West End. He's carrying them.
Limited supply, so if you get up there, buy one. What is it, $10?
Yeah. And we're in the process of getting them to other sponsors and around, and we'll keep you updated with how we're going to distribute the rest of those.
Indeed.
Because I realized after November the joke is done.
You save them. Some people like to collect.
Yeah.
Political memorabilia.
Yeah. Me and Daniel were talking. It's legal if we wanted to send Travis out to put those signs at different voting precincts. Where they all by the way, does anybody think that works where you're driving up and there's a sea of yard signs that multiple...
That's how I vote.
50 or 60, and they're all over the place. And
you're
then
supposed to walk up
what does
there.
that do?
First sign I see, I go for.
First sign, it's like just go that one.
But there's so many names, and on the sign it doesn't even say what they're running for. It just says, sometimes it says for sheriff, so you're like, oh, okay. But the rest is just a sea, and anyway, if we just put a Van Dennis sign there,
we'll get some votes. Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah.
That's legal, though. You could put whatever sign.
In.
Yeah, it's totally legal.
Yeah. Okay, I thought that maybe...
What are they going to do? Will the sign police going to come?
Yeah, well,
because if there is such a thing as a sign police, they're doing a poor job because every year those signs are up 3 months after we've already voted, and people put the signs everywhere. And I thought it was garbage. A law that you had a couple of days after the end of voting to go around and pick up your own signs.
That's technically...
But I also think it's a lie, you're not supposed to drive barefoot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of lies that we just perpetuate.
Because if I was the candidate, I'd be like, I don't know, we distributed the signs, they put those there, we didn't do that,
Right.
so it's on them, like, but you're right, it's just all garbage. Anyway, first email, what do we got?
All right. Hey, gang. I was listening to episode 584 when Tom brought up the guy driving a boat through the drive-in and the woman filming didn't try to help.
Oh, this thing does not.
It doesn't die.
Oh, this is they're attacking you again,
Of
Sam.
course. Dan mentioned we used to have a contract with humanity to help one another and that it's gone now. Well, you'd be happy to hear that in Vermont, we do help each other. We mind our business, but if someone is in need of help, we all jump in. I had a couple of 30-foot trees come down in my yard after a bad storm, and my neighbor came over with his chainsaw and cut it all up for me. He wouldn't accept payment, so I gave him a case of Labatt's. I saw a car flipped over and I stopped to help. There are countless stories from Vermonters helping Vermonters.
Flipped over.
This is also evident in our COVID numbers. It's not by chance that we have less than 15 cases a day. Mask wearing was widespread in early April. Anyway, if you're looking for some humanity in the world, check out Vermont.
Well, I understand. There's pockets.
I feel like things have been misconstrued about what I was saying.
Oh, there it is. The great backpedaler.
I pick and choose what I'm going to get myself involved with.
Yes.
I'm not just going to watch somebody like struggle or die or something, you know what I mean? But at the same time, if we're in a drive-through and I see you about to hit, I might honk at you and yell from my car. I'm not getting out of my car and walking up to you to tell you that you're an idiot.
Yeah.
And if it was me and my boat hit the top of a drive-through, I wouldn't get mad at the people behind me. I'd get mad at myself. I'm the one that was an idiot.
That's true. That's all true.
I don't expect anyone to tell me, like, to warn me about something.
I think
like
people
that.
were just more surprised. You know what I mean? Like, people would like...
But I also wouldn't film it either.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So let's talk about this, because what's that? Is a Netflix documentary about like social media skewing people's reality of their own reality or whatever.
Is it
what is it called again?
Oh, I gotta look
it's
it up.
called something. But anyway, there's a documentary about this, and I've thought about this often because we only see the bad and the negative. For instance, so we, and we're a show that's just, we talk about subjects and it's improv. So,
we just
we're
give
saying
our
things.
opinion. And
The Social Dilemma.
Social Dilemma. And I haven't watched it yet, but I think it's about this thing where, so that video we watch on the Qualified Captain, it's a Instagram page about boat fails, and someone took down like a McDonald's or Taco Bell, one of those.
It's like the
The
drive-through
overhang.
overhang. Yeah, it's to keep you dry while you're ordering your McNuggets.
Well, I think it was before that. I thought that it was the thing that
tells
Where
you
you
how
order?
high.
where you order, that tells you how high the overhang is. Which, by the way, shouldn't be strong enough to rip off your bimini top.
No, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes there is a little overhang over the speaker.
Oh yeah.
So
to keep
while
it dry,
you're
yeah.
ordering,
it's
you
a
know,
structure, not just a bar.
No,
Yeah.
right.
Anyway, and some lady just watched the guy rip off his bimini top, and but the fact that we saw that means that we didn't see the countless other people that were in the same drive-through around the world that someone did stop them and be like, hey, you're going to hit this. You see what I'm saying? So we've only seen the bad. So therefore, we make the conclusion that this is the norm instead of making the conclusion is like that all the other videos, because no one videoed.
Well, we weighted heavier because in our eyes, we see that and everyone else around us is influenced in seeing exactly what we're seeing, and that's just not the case.
But yeah, and it's confirmation bias by saying, oh, because we saw this must be the norm, and I don't think that's true.
Right.
I think the norm is that people do warn each other and stuff, but no one takes a video of that because
it's not funny.
It's not entertaining.
And it's nothing. It's just going out and like, hey, buddy, you're about to hit this. Oh, I'm sorry. No one.
Yeah, why would you film that?
Like you don't save two guys from fighting outside of a club and yell World Star.
Yeah,
Right.
no.
You let them fight and you yell World Star.
Because it doesn't get on World Star.
Exactly.
And the same thing with all the crazy people at the grocery stores that are fighting over masks and all this stuff. Like, we're looking at all these stuff, like all these videos, and we're like, oh my God, the world is horrible. People are horrible. But we're only seeing, we're not, living reality. Like when I go to Publix, everybody's nice.
But
like,
it's human nature because
I don't encounter
you
crazy.
and I've talked about this for years about how if I do a bid or write something or do anything, something for the show.
Yeah.
And I get one negative email, it will. I think
Yeah.
I am designed to obsess over that one negative. It wouldn't matter if there were 150,000 good emails in there.
Yeah.
That doesn't even register on my radar, and I think there is a little bit. I think it runs in the same vein. Of that, where the negativity is almost addicting in a weird way because it is so. I don't know
You
why.
put more
though.
weight on the negative.
But why?
Yeah.
That's just what's ingrained.
There's
in
got to be a reason.
Yeah, there's a reason.
There's got to be a reason why.
I'm sure it goes back to some human psychology where our brains evolved to where the negative tends to probably stick with us more because that would help us survive more. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But
so,
not everyone's like that, though.
No. But maybe it's like some leftover evolutionary psychology trait that helped us survive back in the day. But now with the internet, it screws us up because we are looking at all these things and people think it's the norm.
Why you got an Apple stem coming out of your head?
What?
Oh, your hair is out of control.
Yeah,
again.
people in the chat room are.
He doesn't have any
You an
product
apple
in
stem.
today.
You have an apple stem coming out of your head.
Oh, it's the wires. It's the
No, it's your hair.
It's
you
your hair.
you have an
In
apple
the front.
stem. Look, you have an apple stem sticking out.
I don't.
You can't see that far.
The chat room,
Yeah, you
the
can't
chat
see
room is
anything.
mocking you, and I couldn't. Sorry, I'm like a
Aw.
child. I can't pay attention to
I know.
anything. But
My hair. I've been telling my barber to keep it longer.
Just shave
I
it
thought
off.
you got a haircut, and you just need to put product in it. Your hair's fine. You have beautiful hair.
But
You do have good hair.
It's too long now. So
well, you got to put some product in
But
it.
I put a lot of product in it, and it falls. It's too heavy. Like it's like having a mohawk. You got to put like 12 egg whites in there to keep it up. Like
My
I
God.
don't have time for
Let
that.
me shave the sides down. Would
a
you
trim. Get a
Would you
trim.
let me? Okay, you give me
I've
a
been-
haircut. I'll give you a haircut.
No, that's gonna be bad, bro. Real bad.
What? It's not a tattoo. It'll grow back.
Yeah, I know, but it's gonna turn into. I'm gonna give you the reverse mohawk. of the-
Okay,
Eventually, he's
the
gonna
D-head.
turn into the old grandpa that just slicks his hair all the way back.
What,
Right?
Tom?
Yeah.
I did that for a while. I went through a phase where I went with like rockabilly
Straight
style
back?
hair. Yeah, straight back.
I don't remember
You remember
that
that?
time.
Yeah.
And I slicked, but it was like Jesse James style, like
Yeah.
you
I don't
know,
remember
like-
you doing
Yeah,
that.
like Mike Ness from Social Distortion.
Yeah. Also, it's like,
It is a fun way to rock your hair because it's so easy.
Oh yeah.
You get up in the morning, you
It's
put
what Tom needs.
You
I
put
call
some
that-
Murrays in it, you slick it straight back.
that's also called the evil businessman.
yeah.
The Wall Street
yeah.
shark.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, yeah. I need
For
to-
me, it was more rockabilly thumb was the look I was going for.
So, but yeah, I just think that we have this weird relationship with the internet and social media where we're just seeing all this negative. It's the same thing with the news. Like everybody that I know that watches the news a lot, and a lot of times it's older people, are influenced by that. And by what I mean by that, it's not that what they're seeing is false, because I think mainstream media, they skew things to their audience, but I think they at least try to put out some sort of facts. I'm talking about like the bigger people, whatever.
Yeah.
But they're skewing it one way or the other. Like you could take anything. You know, like you could take the word Obama and say it in two different ways.
Sure.
And then it means different things. You say Obama, and then you go Obama. And you're saying it, but it's
We know what you mean.
your
I like the
inflection.
second way better.
Yeah. So
The second way was good.
so when you report on something Obama does, it can be the fact, but just by you saying Obama did this, and then it's like excuse it. Anyway, the people that I know that just constantly watch the news tend to be
It's not good for your health.
more scared and more nervous about what is going on in
Yeah.
reality. And I really truly believe that if you didn't look at any of this and just went about your life, you'd be totally fine.
Yeah.
And nothing good or bad will happen from it.
It does make your quality of life better.
Like I know,
think so.
I don't think that people should walk around uninformed or something,
Right.
but it's they're just being inundated by all this. How, for instance, we talk to lawyers, right? If you talk to any lawyer, they're going to be overly cautious about getting sued, and they're going to sue you. They're going to sue you. It's because that's all they deal with. Like all they see is people getting sued and them suing people, right? So if you live in that world, of course you're going to be more cautious than the average person. Me and you have never been sued. Like we've never been involved in
Well,
that.
Get close.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but I'm
a
saying.
couple little times.
So in our world, we're not really nervous about that. Why would we be? But it has to do with your reality that you live in and stuff. And if you live your reality with being inundated by negativity or things you look on social media and the news and whatever, you're going to have a different outlook. You have to. Like it's impossible not to.
You're always going to be influenced by
yes, yeah.
something.
And so
that's why it's so important to control the message, right? Because when you do,
and also learn to just back away from it and live in reality and know about human, because man, I think we're going into a dark place where humans are just hating other humans, and you're hating humanity because of what you see on the internet.
And it's not real.
But you're going to Jiffy Lube and you're talking to the guy or sitting down and like your real life experiences, those don't weigh in.
I don't go to Jiffy Lube.
Well, I'm just saying, it's like why isn't real life weighing in?
Do I really look like a Jiffy Lube guy? Sam, do I look like a Jiffy Luber?
I could see a Jiffy Lube.
God, Butler, do I look like a Jiffy Lube guy? Really, guys?
Yes.
I look like I go to Jiffy Lube. You're kidding.
Daniel goes to the dealer.
Yeah, I'm a dealer, man.
Pays.
Yeah, but you'd go to
full
Jiffy
price.
Lube just to. This is like when you're an old man. You'd go to Jiffy Lube just to like drink the coffee and hang out.
Yeah,
you don't need a service there.
I probably would.
Yeah.
No, Daniel's not.
They got Judge Mathis on?
Of course they do.
Oh, I love some Judge Mathis.
It just I don't understand why no one's looking at what their real life interactions are and then judging.
Oh, my real life interactions are bad too.
Well, they're not that. They're based on the internet. I mean, how
I
often?
don't have a lot of real life interactions. I have you guys.
I know, but I went to the cancer center last week to get some blood drawn, and it was a nightmare city. It was right in downtown Orlando. It was bad.
Yeah. When you go to
Why do you put the cancer center in Nightmare City?
You know, it is bad.
I've got to draw
It's a
my phone
bad
to
look.
cancer center, and it's like, where are we going? Nightmare City. Oh, that sounds lovely.
I'm pretty sure if I'm gonna get COVID, I'm gonna get it. From
We
that
got the
place.
land real cheap. Where's it located? Cancer City. Nightmare City, sorry.
It's like a stadium. It's like, where was the new
Close to the stadium.
Where was the new Rams Charger Stadium built? Oh, Inglewood or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, of course it was.
At the corner of Crenshaw and Slauson.
It's
Right near the Compton swap meet.
like, we got to put the cancer center in some
God.
cheap property.
Next email.
All right, let's see here. Undeniable proof that Dan is the good one.
Oh, I like these.
I wanted to
Get
write,
him.
Hey, Sam, I wanted to write to you instead of the show, so maybe Dan wouldn't see this, as he is likely checking emails when he absolutely should not be. Short backstory. My mom is dead, and I just bought a new car. Now that we are up to speed, I was looking for some confirmation that I bought a cool car, so I posted a picture of my new car in the BDM car group. I didn't even know we had a BDM car group.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
All right. Along with the car picture...
Well, we say it's a car group, but we really just get on there and swap pictures of our irritated genitals.
Oh.
Yeah, it all goes back to genitals.
Yeah.
Along with the car picture, I asked a personal question and got some fantastic advice from fellow BDMs.
I'm Talk Show 69 on there.
Then, out of the blue, I get a message from Dan. On the night after his mother passed away, I was honestly floored. All he wanted to let me know was that he thought it was a cool car. He also offered to help me with my silly situation. That's honestly one of the most selfless acts anyone has ever done for me, not counting my awesome family. All I could do is say awkward stuff back to him. Dan and I are friendly, but it's still cool to talk to him. I just wanted to write this while I was still inebriated enough to write what I really thought. So as I write this with tears welling in my eyes, honestly, Dan is the good one. Sorry, Tom, I still love you.
Oh, well, why can't we
I was
both?
drunk.
And this is from Turnpike Mike.
Yeah, I was drunk and he was drunk and I was sad. And then he had a cool new car. And then some of his friends are giving him the business about his cool new car because they're jealous. And I was like, tell those people to, I was giving them the what for.
Yeah.
I was
Also-
giving a little bit of the...
Daniel had a bunch of time because he was off work, and I'm here working
Yeah,
hard
you
to
were.
keep the company.
Yeah.
Actually, I was like, what do we do now? This is a bad business model. If one person's gone, the company crumbled. I'm like,
Could you guys even get into the studio? Because I had the,
no,
I had the door locked.
We had to wait outside.
I told you.
And
did our work.
true
Did the
bad
computer
at
let
business.
you in? The computer should have done a retina scan and let you in.
In true bad at business fashion, I showed up because nobody communicated with me.
You didn't tell them that my
last
mom
Friday.
died?
Well, no,
Oh
this was
my God.
Friday. This was before the actual passing, but we were wondering if we were going to do the Friday free show. We're like, let's just show up anyway.
Oh, let me guess. Tom is like, where is he? I'm going to get him. Oh.
I ended up texting you guys at like 10:30, like, hey, is
I
anyone
did
coming
see
in
that
today?
one.
And Tom's like, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. I'll be coming in late. It didn't
Well,
come
he
until like
doesn't-
noon.
No, he doesn't like. There's a hard thing for him to talk about. It really is.
Yeah, I know.
Like-
But yeah, because
You made so many people cry on the Friday Free Show.
Oh my
Why did I
God.
make people cry?
Because you did.
Because you
what-
showed a
'cause you-
little bit of an emotion.
Because you
okay.
put shoes on the news.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I just was.
You sure knew.
I
You
just
did the
one-
ultimate shoes on the news, which no one knew this, but it's
Yeah.
toast to Dan's mom, and people lost their ass.
Yeah.
People were like, we looked into his eyes, we saw one tear. They were like,
Oh, yeah.
he's real, he's real. It's like Santa Claus came to life.
Yeah, that's right. If you live your life with giving nobody anything,
Yeah.
and then you just give them $1, they're like, "Oh my God!"
Everybody was
He's Bill
like,
Gates.
everything was fine until Tom did
Yeah.
the toast, and he said she was a sweet woman or an angel on earth or something. You said like these glorious things about my mom, and it was like super sad, and people were crying.
Yeah, well, it's super sad. So thanks for bringing it up.
Oh my God, got him. Oh
Now
my-
he's shaming you.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Next email.
But also, why can't we both be the good one? No one's ever
Well,
brought up
no,
that
no,
fact.
that's
Why
not-
can't we
no.
both
No,
be
there
good?
only has to be a good one.
Yeah, there can only be
Why
one
are there good and bad?
Well, that's how the world works.
Right.
No, it's
Like
not.
in a
versus
relationship,
evil.
there's not, like I love it when people are like, we have an equal relationship. No, you don't.
There's one that's better.
No such
Yeah,
thing as an
yeah.
equal relationship.
Yeah, right.
There's always one person that has a little bit more control.
Yeah. No, not even control, but just actually
A better person.
better
No, it's
spouse.
It's
Right.
absolutely control.
Yeah. There's
I am the overlord.
well, we know who's the
Yeah.
good one.
I-
And
We
who-
know,
Yeah.
yeah, the good one in your relationship
There's
isn't necessarily the one
there's
that's in
one
charge.
person that pulls the strings.
but you're pulling her strings to do things for you.
Yes. Well, no. I don't pull those strings. I look at those strings, and those strings know if they're not being pulled.
Oh, yeah.
Chop them good. Chop the strings.
Well, you always hurt yourself.
Yeah. But that's how I live my life.
Yeah.
Never-ending cycle of misery. Next email.
Hey guys.
Well, it will end eventually. I'm
right,
like, this is never ending. Ah, there it is.
Hey
Yeah.
guys, on an OG recap, you guys were talking about having 2 wives or 2 girlfriends. I have some friends that are kind of in
We
a
did
relationship.
talk about that.
We did, yeah. I have some friends that are kind of in a relationship like that. Main difference being that the husband and wife are both dating the same girl. So sex-wise, they've told stories about how the wife and the girlfriend will have sex without the husband involved, or he will have sex with the girlfriend without the wife involved.
Why are they doing that?
And they will have threesomes.
There's
Whoa.
nothing to even do there. The only reason no.
That's pretty awesome.
They both have shared stories about walking in on the other with the girlfriend and just sat and watched or joined in or just left them to it.
Well, you're not gonna walk in there after you get off. Okay, so
Are
I
these
get
people
off
married?
here,
Are we
and,
kids?
and I drive in,
They're married.
and I walk in my house, and I'm carrying the new BDM shirt,
Yeah,
a
yeah.
flag that Butler gave me. I walk in, and my wife's upstairs with her girlfriend making out, and so I just put my plant down, and I just go and I just sit. What do I get, a beer? Just sit there?
Yeah. Also, who does this? Like, my whole life, I'm in just perpetual cycles of diarrhea and stress. So it's like people are just banging their girlfriend, and then their wife is here. It's all fine.
Well, how do you
How
even
do you
have
have
time to do
time? Yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah.
Walking in on them, I'm assuming it's between 3 and 6. Like, I've got too much to do.
Yeah,
I got to
yeah.
pick up the kid. She's got to go to dance. My mom's dead. It's like,
Yeah.
all hell is.
yeah.
It's literally the world is falling down around me, and I walk in on my, and then I've got time to sit and watch this. Let me just peel off an hour to sit here in a lazy boy and watch my wife make love to her girlfriend.
Yeah.
Another interesting thing is the girlfriend does not live with them. I see this as a pro. They have tons of interesting and wild stories about their life, but they have also had really bad luck with not being able to sustain long-lasting and meaningful relationships with a girlfriend.
Duh.
Normally because the girlfriend starts favoring one of them over the other. It's a little bit of a different take on what you guys were talking about on the OG recap, and I'm curious as to everyone's thoughts on the situation versus the 2 girlfriends/wives. Keep up the great work. I think them not living with you could be a benefit, but then also you're also kind of missing out on them helping out with chores and bills at the house, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's
I
just.
think
that's
it's
just a
weirder.
sexual.
If they live someplace else, I
component.
think it's weirder because if I get there, what if I don't want that person there? I can be like, you get the hell out of my house.
Right.
Well, just
It makes it weirder, I think.
the thing is that everybody, it sounds stupid, but everybody's different, likes their own things. It's, you end up with who your spouse is as a person, and everybody has different personalities and is able to withstand. So, sometimes you get the sex crazed, woman that's not jealous and is open to open relationships and blah blah blah, and then cooks you a sandwich every single day for
sandwich. I guess a grilled cheese, maybe
a hot sandwich.
And sometimes you
get
get
a meatloaf sandwich,
an angry crow.
Oh, stop it!
I think there's a little more than just those two options.
I don't think it's either meatloaf sandwich or a shaker crow.
Right.
Well, there's a spectrum.
Yeah.
There is a
God,
spectrum.
not that spectrum.
And the crow's not even at the end. I mean, it gets worse.
Oh, it does get worse.
Oh, you don't know.
Oh, what?
Ghoul.
It's not Shang Tsung.
Yeah. Sometimes
It's Goro, then Shang Tsung.
Yeah, sometimes you get the real bad mentally ill bipolar. Like it goes into real mentally ill thing. And then there's all this whole spectrum of life, and your spouse is going to land in one.
But you
one
always say you could do this, but I swear to God, man, I cannot see you coming home. You're opening the door. You've got, hi, I brought on banana pudding from Porky's, boys. And where are the boys at? Oh, they're at Mom's house. You open the door, and Crystal's in there with her girlfriend. And I'm sorry, but I can't see you just sit there and you're lazy boy. You're taking off your Hanes socks and watching them go at it.
Well, that sounds better than
better than now.
Better than nothing, right?
No, I just can't see you doing that.
Of course, because you're looking at it through the lens of my own reality and our personalities. Then that's absurd.
You're looking at it through the lens of my reality, my own personalities.
Yeah.
Well,
the cipher falls. I stand on a mountain. The mountain calls.
Crystal always asks me, what if I did this? And it's some sort of behavior that's so out of her norm that I always react with, I would get you therapy and mental health.
That's not what
assistance.
she wants to hear.
I know.
And you know that. So why do you say that to her? Say what she
Because
wants to hear.
I
She wants
hate-
you to hear that you have an emotion. She wants you to be jealous.
Because
she wants you to on her.
I'm not playing that.
Okay, now
stupid
this is
game.
gonna sound.
Okay,
I'm gonna
well,
ask-
she'll crow and caw at
Hold
you.
on. He's
I'm
gonna
gonna
get
ask you
mad
some
at me.
theoretical question.
He's gonna get mad
for
at
a
me.
fake answer.
If I played the toast that you did for my mom on the Freddie Free Show for your wife,
Ooh, good.
would it prove to her that there is
Emotion there.
It's just
Not for her.
very difficult to bubble it up to
She
the
she knows
top.
I have emotion, but my wires are crossed and I'm a little screwed up.
You're like Johnny Five.
But I'm not affectionate. She wants affection.
But you are with your kids.
Yeah, but Crystal
So
doesn't
you're
want to be.
selective,
Crystal doesn't want to
effective.
play Mongoloid and be tossed in the pool.
Right, but he gives huggies and kisses and cuddles to his
No,
boys.
but it's not the same. She wants,
She wants that too, though.
Yeah, but not a
Yeah.
peck kiss and a
Shows passion.
Yeah, pull your
Well,
underwear down and spank your butt.
She wants me to go and hug her,
Rub her
and
back.
then be affection. I didn't learn affection, so that doesn't come natural to me. So I have to
Take some affection classes.
Yeah,
But
I give affection classes every.
He does.
Well, right now we're.
then-
we're starting a new cycle next week. It'll be Mondays and Fridays for 2 hours.
Okay, Butler, get in here.
You rub
Oh,
each
wait.
other down.
He has my competing affection classes.
Because I do yell at Crystal too. I'm like, I don't know.
Why are you yelling at
You
her?
yell at Butler too. You yell at Butler all the time. Why are you yelling so much lately?
Because I tell.
What did I do?
Why did you bring Butler in, and why did Butler go, hey, what did
What did
I
I
do? What are
do,
you,
huh?
tabby?
Forget about it.
Hey, what did I do? Why you bringing me in it, man?
Because Crystal tells
I
me.
ain't done nothing.
She's like, I just want affection. I want you to show, be affectionate. And then I'm
And
like,
then you go, I'll show you affection. Why don't you bend over?
no,
Show me
Fuck
that.
this.
she doesn't like that.
Show me that big cheeseburger.
She doesn't like me. Come on, stop it. Stop. She doesn't
Oh,
like.
man.
She,
I did single with cheese last night, I'm telling you.
she doesn't like
Had
it
to. It's been
when,
too long.
when I grab at her and like
Oh, yeah,
because
piece
it's
of meat.
horny.
I get that
Yeah,
sometimes, too, yeah.
Because she's like, I don't want you like just because you want sex or whatever. Then that's when you show affection. I
Right.
want affection without any strings attached.
Oh,
just because
I hate affection when those strings
Okay, well,
attached.
I'm like, what guy are you referencing? Because all my friends are Grizz turkey like you grumpy old man Harley mechanic. I've never seen him be affectionate ever in my
Yeah,
life.
but he also probably
I'm
isn't
like,
doing it in front of you.
I know.
Yeah, but
I don't think they're doing it
I don't think
anytime.
turkey leg can.
All my friends, I'm like, I've never seen him affectionate. The wizard, Asperger, you don't even know emotion at all. Like, he's a robot. And then I'm looking at Daniel and Travis. I'm the people around me. I'm like, I don't see them
I've seen Butler be affectionate to his wife.
Okay, so Butler.
I've seen Dan be affectionate to Andrea.
I'm affectionate to my wife.
I don't encounter a scenario where I remember like, oh yeah, that. Now I have a hard time.
Yeah, you also don't recognize it.
you
Yeah,
never-
that's on. This is all on you. By
So
the way,
how affectionate are you to your wife, Butler? Like, were you?
I would like to say I'm actually very affectionate with my wife.
So
I mean,
if she's
not
just
necessarily grabby, but I mean, I always, I'm very.
you hold hands,
beyond sex.
you rub her back.
Okay, I'll
Yeah,
hold
yeah.
it when we walk into Home Depot or whatever. Sometimes like our hands hit each other.
What if
and
you're
then we
sitting
hold-
together on the couch?
Well, I have to tell myself like, go and touch her feet.
I think most guys
Go and touch her feet.
her feet.
I'm just saying,
When you're holding her foot.
put your hand on her to let her know you're
Yeah.
affectionate.
Put your hand on her feet.
I'm screwed up mentally. So if your wife's like working on a computer, will you go and then like
Rub her shoulder. Yeah, kiss her neck.
you do a
I'd
whole
like to
Yeah.
see your
Absolutely.
wife on the computer.
Give her the sleepy Joe.
I'd like to see Tom crawling on his hands and knees under
Don't
the
sneak
computer.
attack her.
Just so he can touch her feet.
You got a foot fetish,
like
bro?
what are you doing affectionate? Tell me your affection.
Tell me why.
What do you do?
Okay, look, I'll tell you what I did this morning. My
Okay.
wife had on
Give
one
him
of
a
our-
little snippet of your
okay.
affection classes.
Yeah.
My wife had one of our shirts on that we have recently printed for the ladies that listen to A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan and the Tom and Dan shows.
Ah.
And she didn't have a bra on, and things were looking pretty good in there. And as she was going up the stairs, I said, turn it around, the racerback. So she put her arms in her tank top and turned it around. So the skinnier racerback
yes.
was between her cleavage, and then both of her boobs fell out the armholes. And me and Maisie laughed and laughed.
Wait a minute. Did you do this in front of your daughter? That's kind of weird.
This guy's just like me.
Yeah, that's not the same. That is not the same.
I want to
Oh,
see.
I was
but
cry laughing.
I tell Chris I'll dump him out all the time, and then I look at him.
You slap him?
I
You give her a mammogram?
I'm
What
like,
are
you
you
gotta
doing?
stop slapping him.
like I see, I'm like, oh, and then she hates that. She's like, don't. Like, why can't you just be affectionate without being horny?
I do the move where you grab them and I go, yee, or woo,
Oh, that's a
woo,
battle
woo.
rope.
Yeah, I do some battle ropes.
But you see, I don't think. But again,
They love that. They love that.
Going back to your spouse is on the human spectrum of who they are. Like, I don't think Andrea like maybe she doesn't want
She
need
doesn't-
affection.
No, she
as much.
doesn't. She hates that.
Yeah. Okay.
It's different people. You know.
Yeah. So it's
But
like,
your wife is telling you, so maybe
yeah.
reciprocate, and
I kn-
otherwise she might leave
It's
you.
a bad sign when your wife is like, stop
Begging you for
touching
affection.
me.
Yeah, you got a superhero living across the street from you, don't you? Like,
What do you mean?
We got that
you
neighbor.
got your
that's,
young stud
Yeah.
across
Well,
the street.
yeah,
You
yeah,
gotta,
yeah.
you
I
better
bet
step
she'd
your
let
game
it,
up, sir.
yeah.
Okay. Well, again, that's what I said. Like the good-looking supermodel lives next door, ripped. Most likely is not going to seduce my wife.
Well, he's a
and
lot
do-
younger, so he
Yeah, yeah.
probably got more love as a child, so he's probably more affectionate. Your wife's looking for affection.
It all starts with a back rub.
Is that how you? How do you?
Yeah. I'd say my wife spends a lot of time in the kitchen, kind of making nut butter or whatever. That's our kind of
Are you
the center of our
married,
house.
Old Amish grandpa.
Yeah, exactly.
My
So
wife
Churning
my wife
butter.
spends a very long time tending to our
Milking the goats.
Turning butter. And,
No, but,
weaving a basket.
Yeah, massaging the shoulders, like anything that I like. I feel like I need. I usually kind of go with her and kind of start with that, and kiss on the neck or something like that. Or I compliment her a lot.
Hog leg joint.
I can't. I can't. If I walked up and then kiss my wife on the neck,
Well, she's not used to it. You got to slowly start adding.
or just lean in and blow a
Affection.
raspberry on her neck.
No.
And when I
What?
do,
Gross.
when I remember to do it, show affection. Now's your time. And then
Don't go for the feet at first. Don't go feet first.
Don't go feet first.
And then I'm grabbing
Kiss
her.
your feet.
Then she's like, "What do you want from me?" Because then she's like, because she equates me showing some sort of affection to getting what I want, which
Because
is the
that's usually
sex-
what you do.
And then
That's her
say to
telltale
her,
sign.
so you got to say to her, I don't want nothing. This one's on the house. You got to say something
I
like
do,
that.
but she's like, "You're lying." I'm like, "If I wanted to have sex, you would." I'm like, "Yes."
Whoa,
but
that's
what
great.
every guy wants to have sex. Like,
No, then you got to say well, prove it. And then she gets naked and she's like, make love to me. And you're like, I will not do it. That's not what this was about.
Well, I can't do that because
He's going to give in.
Yeah.
Then wait till she starts putting her clothes back on.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my life right there.
That sounds...
we gotta go. Bye. Welcome back to A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha, our producer here, Butler in the other room.
So on the Skype with us right now, a friend of the show, longtime friend of the show, a fellow podcaster,
Sweetest mustache in the game.
who has somehow now managed to do more podcasts
Than we do, yeah.
Well,
He's always done them better, but we've always
Yeah.
been able to beat him in content.
right.
We have too much content.
Dan's
His
like,
has
"No."
always been better. He's like, nope, taking another, gonna take that one too.
So with us on Skype, a comedian, podcaster, all-around great guy, Dan Cummins. What's going on, Dan?
Oh, that's nice. Thank you, guys. And first off, yeah, and sorry, about your mom recently,
Yeah.
Daniel. I feel like I need to say that right away.
No,
and,
I
man,
appreciate that,
hard-
man. Yeah, and they sent me beautiful flowers. Dan and his wife Lindsay sent me this beautiful bouquet, and then I took a picture of it, and I meant to send it to you when we were talking via text, and my wife wouldn't let me because sitting next to it was a bunch of empty Coors Light cans, and she said it was embarrassing. So I will send you a better picture. But love you guys too, and thank you so much, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's a very wife thing to do. Lindsay's always talking about our house. Like, I'll have a friend coming through town or something. I'm like, yeah, they're gonna come over. She's like, well, they can't come over today. I mean, look at the floor. I mean, look. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about any of that.
Yeah, Andrea was very much upset that she just basically took my phone. That's what happened. and there we are. She saw the photo and she said, "You're not sending that." So there you go. That's the story.
So Dan, let's talk about all the podcasts you're doing because,
My God, sir.
of course, we all know times suck. Then you have the show with your wife, Scared to Death. You have Is We Dumb with Joe Paisley.
Yeah, little Paisley action.
And then now Incredible Feats, and that's just on Spotify, correct?
It's they promote it mainly on Spotify because that's where Parcast. This is a different one where they have a research team. They have I look it over, make sure it reads well for me, and adjust little things. But it's not one of like my podcast. It's Parcast's podcast that I'm collaborating with them on.
Okay,
Gotcha.
And they have it on like a variety of platforms, but they have like an exclusive deal with Spotify. So a lot of their stuff is on Spotify kind of first, I guess. I don't know exactly. It's a little confusing to me, but it is everywhere.
Spotify seems to be obviously with their Joe Rogan acquisition and then also like all the other the networks they've been buying up and stuff. They have
They are dabbling in it big time. They definitely are. Automatically, they're the number 2, and they want to be, I think, bigger, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing. I mean, they're doing all kinds of stuff. And they've bought in hard on podcasting this year, doing all kinds of deals, and it'd be interesting to see kind of like. I think it's good where it just like the more they promote it, they have such a huge music audience. I look at it like the more they promote podcasts, it's like, people might jump over initially just to listen to Rogan or just to listen to some, like I think Kim Kardashian's doing one with them or something like that. And then those people, hopefully some of them will find other podcasts like your podcast, like, my other podcast, and then it's good for all of us. But we went hard obviously on podcasts this year, and part of it is COVID. Yeah. Honestly, where it's like stand up is done for me for the year, has been for a while.
Yeah, man, I'm real sorry about that.
Yeah, I'm hoping I can tour the first quarter of next year, but even my agent's saying that's not a guarantee.
Right.
And so, thank God for podcasting.
It's true, but what happened to Dan? Like when I was a kid, I thought like the dream about owning your own business and owning your own company, and I'll kind of equate it to. Me and my wife were stool and chair shopping for our.
I didn't know where this was
for
going.
our new kitchen, and we went into a one-off stool/chair store.
Yeah.
And we walked in, it stink like smoke, like the owner's smoke. It's just him, one guy, and he's the
that's
owner.
Jimmy's Chairs and Stools. I've been there.
He came out of the back and he's like, "Hey, you want? What are you looking for?" And then
Hey, I got the stools.
Yeah, and then we bought some stools from him, and then he's like, I've owned this for 25 years. It's
Wait,
just
they're
me.
stools? You bought 25-year-old stools? Oh my God.
And then he's like, I only need to make like one sale a week to keep it going. So the rest of the time he just sits in the store and smokes, and no one.
that's
we were
the
the only
dream.
people, and that's what I thought owning your own business was. You smoke in the back, you get one sale a
one
week.
stool to some dumb guy who buys 25-year-old stools.
Not that you're constantly doing work, 25 different podcasts and running the business, the merch. My God,
Have
the
you
merch.
seen Dan's merch? My
Yeah,
God.
I know you have 85 different items, and your Dan,
A custom meat duffel bag, sweatshirt, pajama pants, cat ties.
Serious question, Dan. Are you busier now than you've ever been?
Yes.
Okay. And are you like, because there is a certain part of me that I'm like, man, I thought that this would be just smoking in my abandoned stool store, waiting for the next customer.
Smoking in the stool
Because
store.
that sounds pretty sweet, and all this crazy work and we're doing it for a reason. I'm kind of joking,
I
but
always thought with my name I would work at a Dan's Fan City
Yeah.
where they mount the fans sideways in the window so you can see how well they rotate. I always looked at those and I was like, that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah. So, are you?
Yeah, it is a lot of fun, but it definitely is like more work than I anticipated initially. Same thing where I'm like, oh, it'll be so much fun, and I just have this fun office, and I'm like, I'm gonna get this arcade game in the corner, and we're gonna have like these we'll get the cornhole boards out, and it's just like hanging around and goofing around.
Yeah,
And
kegerator. You got a kegerator.
Yeah. Like we got a fish
That's
tank.
how we started.
Yeah.
Kegerator. You want a pinball machine?
We wanted the Pac-Man, the table
sit
Pac-Man.
down.
Yeah, like that one they have in old school steak and ales that your dad would be getting drunk at the
Well, it'd
bar.
be in the bar of the seafood restaurant.
Yeah. You're right. All the fun stuff about owning a business, the arcade, the getting takeout for lunch every day, the
Beer 30, the whole nine.
yeah, being drunk at work. What happened to being drunk at work?
Well, we dabble, or at least I do.
Friday free shows get a little
I
crazy
dabble in that,
sometimes.
so. Okay, but you know what? I want like Dan. We originally had two accountants. One was he looked like the Indian from well, not the Indian. I guess I don't even know who that man is. He looked like the villain from No Country for Old Men with the
ball hair.
So he had the jet black Chucky haircut, and then his partner was a red-faced, coked-out sales guy. And our accountant would crunch the numbers in his room, but then the coked-out sales guy was always playing the Space Invaders.
Yeah.
And when we saw that, we're like, these guys are the coolest guys we've ever met.
Then they embezzled. So
Oh, it was
not
bad.
us, but the
Not
other.
us. Everybody but us. We were cool.
Yeah, we caught them at the end of their embezzlement, right when they were leaving town. And they sold off. They're like, some of the other clients, they were screwed.
Yeah.
You guys are fine though. We're like, yes.
The last they ever saw of him, Dan, apparently the No Country for Old Men, he called like coked out from like a LeBaron, like a white on white LeBaron, just coked out of his mind, saying, "You'll never catch me."
So he's living the dream.
Yeah, that's what I thought owning your own business was.
So Dan, besides from doing a million podcasts, I know that you're also a family man, and I follow all your social
Haven't you
media.
seen his mustache? Of course he's a family man.
I know. And by the way, I'm glad that you kept the mustache. I thought it was one of those I'm going to shave my beard, go with mustache for like the week of
You
the
do
joke.
it for like a couple of days.
And then you be back full beard, the Dan Cummins that we all know, but you stuck with the mustache.
Yeah, I mean, maybe like another month or so. It's been growing now. I've been slowly letting it go down a little further. Lindsay hasn't said anything yet. It's almost kind of not handlebar, Fu Manchu a little bit.
Yeah.
Getting further and further.
Paul
but
Senior. Paul Senior.
So get it all the way down your neck and then scream at your son.
Yeah. You gotta make another motorcycle for these POWs.
Then there might be a little gap between the chest hair and the neck hair, and hopefully I can just like braid the two together, like a little connection. And just really get that connection all the way down.
like the continental ice shelf.
Yeah. You got to have something there for people to walk across.
So, have you been on any family vacations during this pandemic?
Aren't you going? Are you leaving on one, or were you just on one?
We just did Yellowstone right before. Look at this smoke outside. I'm going to show you guys this. We just did Yellowstone before it got so crazy smoky. That's not cloud cover. It's just smoke.
Oh my God! Wow!
I didn't know it was that bad in Idaho.
Yeah, it's the smokiest northern Idaho, but it's the smokiest it's literally ever been here. The air quality index is basically like get out, like leave the area.
Oh my God.
But we went to Yellowstone and Grand Teton right before all this went down. So it was awesome. We snuck in a little vacation before the fires kind of got bad around there as well and stuff. So it was fun. It was fun just to get out and get outside and I don't know. It feels like the right kind of vacation right now to do. Basically, just camping.
Yeah. Just get out there and enjoy that smoke. Start breathing that fresh mountain smoke.
Dan, was it crazy? Was it crazy packed? Because it feels like everybody has the same idea. It's like, all right, you don't want to be like in a crowded situation indoors, so let's get outdoors. But we've seen like one of our sponsors, Seminole Power Sports, can't even keep like all their side-by-sides or jet skis. Like they're just selling things like RVs.
Bicycles are good luck finding one.
Yeah. Everything that has to do with outdoors is being bought up, which it stinks for guys that like the outdoors because now
because most of the people buying it, let's be honest, are fat people. And we know they're not using it. And we know that they're buying it just to, we're all going to be dead soon.
No, Coeur d'Alene is the most outdoorsy town. Coeur d'Alene has been the most crowded I've ever seen it this summer. Like in moments, just packed for those reasons. And then in Yellowstone, it wasn't. We were there Labor Day weekend, and it wasn't crazy packed. Thursday and Friday, we went a little early. Saturday, it got real crowded. And then because of a fire, we ended up having to we couldn't get back to our campsite. Had to go around outside the park and back in. We had to go through Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and it was ridiculous. Like downtown Jackson, Wyoming was like Times Square. Like it was cartoonishly crowded.
Yeah.
Like this little kind of, ski town, outdoorsy town, and just basically everybody had the same idea. Let's leave our city and we'll go to Jackson where it'll be nice and outdoorsy. It's like, nope, you basically just you might as well have gone to Times Square.
Yeah. And meanwhile, Times Square, empty.
Yeah.
Exactly. Ironically, Times Square, totally empty.
Yeah. And when you go on family vacations, because your kids are older, how old are your kids again?
Yeah, they're 12 and 14.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. They can actually lift things.
Well, this is perfect, Dan, because I have this fear that my boys are 5 and 6, so they still love their dad. I'm their hero. They think I'm the strongest.
You keep saying that, man.
I've never heard them say that.
This is all unconfirmed.
Right.
But he says, and he sells it hard.
Self-proclaimed.
And in his eyes, Dan, I can see him saying, please don't negate this because I wanted to believe this so bad.
So they think I'm the strongest man in the world. They think my D is bigger than they've ever seen, which, by the way...
why are they even talking about that?
That's all they talk about at dinner now. It's
weird.
It is really weird.
I'm just saying, it's just... And I
like how you brought that out casually. Like dad stuff. Like kids think you're strong. They like to look at your wiener and talk about how big it is. What, the last part?
Well, I was just saying, if they do see it, it's shocking to them how big it's the old dad dog.
Is it though? Do they go, God, holy my God?
I don't know.
What is that?
They're not that shocking.
No.
But
help, mommy, help!
Anyway.
There's 2 men in here. Oh, I didn't understand. One of them was my dad's cock.
God damn it.
If you're worried about that going away, yes, it will.
Well, I'm worried about them.
Theirs will even out, and eventually it'll just be 3 of them.
Dan, it looks like, your kids want to hang out with you, and I'm scared that by the time my sons get to that age where they're a teenager, they're going to want to hang out with their friends and not their old man.
You can't stop that.
And I know, but Dan, he hangs out goes on these trips. Everybody looks like you and your son are joking
grow
around.
A mustache.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
We do have fun. It's I don't know. I think that we joke around a lot with them. I mean, I don't know. They're good kids. We're pretty good about setting boundaries, but we can also joke in a certain way. I've always kind of shared my irreverent sense of humor with the kids. I think different than some parents where There's no like I knew they would find my stuff on YouTube whether I wanted them to or not at an early age. And so it's like it felt a little silly like when I have like a video on YouTube about me doing acid in Vegas and just going off the rails, it seemed a little silly to try and be like prim and proper at home and be like, don't use that profanity there, Kyler. That filth will ruin your mind. And,
Right.
And so we have like a good definitely a good rapport with the kids, and we're lucky. Like they actually do like to hang out with us. They like to make fun of me more as they get older, but they still like to hang out. They're very like they can be a little cruel.
Oh, you're in luck then. I mean, you've had years and years ahead of you.
Hold on, but that's why I go to work and I'm made fun of. And I go home and then be like, I need a goddamn escape. I need my sons to be like, oh, this guy's
Come
the best. Look how strong he is and smart. That's not gonna. Now, but how do you keep because in my mind imagine my sons are like, if we go on a family vacation, all they're gonna want to do is be on the internet and be on social media, and I'm gonna be standing in front of the Grand Tetons. By the way, I can't say that.
I laugh crazy when Dan. I wrote that down. It's like Tetons. I'm like,
I always think of boobs.
Yeah,
because
me
I'm
too.
an idiot.
Tetons.
But I'm standing in front of the Grand Tetons, and I turn around, and my sons are on their GD phones.
Get over and look at this Grand Teton.
Yeah.
If your sons talk as much as my son talks, you will be so thankful that they're on their phones.
Oh, okay.
Because my kids are so inquisitive, which is great, but nobody likes to be grilled with questions 5 hours a day, or like on like a family road trip where it's like you're in this 8-hour car drive.
Yeah.
It's like, what about this? What about this? What about this? Well, I don't know. What about this?
That's amazing. You're right. Dude, you're going to be fine.
When they put on the headphones, I'm like, thank God.
Right.
Gotcha, guys. So it could be a mixture of both. Because
who's more talkative, Tommy or Max?
Tommy for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Tommy's way more talkative. Max is a strong, silent guy. Just more up in his own head, sensitive. But I go back to like old family vacations, like when I remember my mom took me. She had this idea of with me, my mom's stepdad, and then just my sister and brother going on.
We're going to Hedonism 3. All right, whoa.
They rented an RV, and then we went up to like.
We're gonna
Tennessee.
get you. We're gonna go up there and see us that there Jerry Carson.
And I was like 13, and I was miserable. It was pre-internet. I had no escape. I couldn't leave.
Yeah. You'd have a Game Boy.
And I was like, "Why? This is the most miserable trip." And I remember at every campsite, I was there just wandering around. Look, I was like, "Please, maybe there's another girl my age I could finger around here."
Oh my God!
What?
That's all you were looking for?
That's your thing when you're 13. No. I think that's what 13-year-old boys
God,
think.
man, this whole vacation sucks. I gotta finger something.
I never found. Of course, you didn't find that, but it's just what you think. Anyway, I was miserable.
Tough day and a boring vacation.
Then I looked at my stepdad. I mean, I wasn't gonna hang out with him.
Can I finger you?
He was an old real man biker. He didn't want to hang out.
You try to finger me, I'm gonna slap you with my chain wallet.
Jesus, man.
I'm just saying.
So be careful when Maisie's 13 wandering around campsites. There's some boys wandering around.
Hey, be careful wandering around this campsite, Maisie.
A lot of guys trying to finger you.
Boys out there with itchy fingers.
So you're worried now that your kids will not be like into the vacation the way you want them to be into it when they go.
We want a finger.
I advise just like no expectations, because like my wife Lindsay, she gets a little upset about that. She like plans out this great vacation, and then sometimes the kids aren't as excited as she would like them to be about certain moments, and she thinks about like, man, when I was a kid, I would have killed to do this, and you guys don't seem to be into it. I don't care at all what their reaction is anymore. I just look at it like I'm gonna enjoy myself. I like to see the cool things.
Yeah.
And if they don't like it, fuck them.
Yeah. It's kind of like put your oxygen mask on, so you can put their oxygen mask on. So if you make sure you're having a good time, Tom, then they'll probably have a good time because you're drunk and high, I'm assuming.
No.
I think about when they're older, then they can look back and like, oh, that was really cool that we did this. So it's like if they enjoy it now, that's bonus. But if they don't, it's like, I know that we planned out a good vacation. We did our job as parents. And if they don't enjoy it, then that means that they're shitty kids. And that's on them.
I agree with. Why don't you do something together? Why don't you take them fingering?
Oh,
Damn it.
Teach them how to do it. You know, I'll never forget when my dad taught me how to bait a fish hook.
I'm going to be screaming, look at the Tetons, and they're going to be on their phone. I'll be like, no! Then I'll be like, this is ruined. You ruined my time.
Where's Crystal at this point?
right.
Oh, this is a divorce scenario.
Oh.
She's already left me a long time ago. And I've spent all my...
and she had the cooler, funner vacation.
Oh,
at
yeah.
Dad's.
She's at Butler's Uncle Chateau's or whatever.
Uncle DeJean.
Uncle DeJean's Chateau in the French Alps.
They go to Disney World and they have the best time. I hate theme parks. I take them to Tetons and they're like, we're miserable. we want to go back to the RV and sit on our phones. And they'll be screaming, no. They'll get drunk.
So you got to just not care.
They'll fall in the fire. I burn myself horribly.
Oh, that's bad.
Then I get a cool half mask, and then they like me again.
Yeah.
Because I got a cool.
We only
burn
like you
face.
because of your mask.
That's my
Dad
fantasy.
got a Post Malone mask.
Well, thanks again for having me on. I actually have to bounce out.
Yeah, we'll let
sorry.
you go. We're sorry.
No, you're wasting his time.
We've done this twice to him where he's like, guys, I can't do this anymore.
No, I wish I could. But I got my buddy Joe waiting on me. We're ready to go record as we done. I got to open it up. I apologize.
No,
you're
please.
good.
Yeah, I told you at the beginning. I was like, it'll be 15 minutes, and I'm telling you long.
You can give us 15 of your D material. We don't care. We just need something other than us.
Thank you, Dan. I appreciate it, man.
See you, man.
Thank you guys for checking in, and and thanks again for just all the podcast advice. And we got to talk off air soon and catch up for real.
Yeah.
Now we're just looking at your merch page, stealing your ideas.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, Dan's got he's got
I just got to visit your studio to see how our next studio is going to look.
Now we get ideas for you.
You guys are always welcome. Get out to Idaho.
All right.
Yeah, let's
Love you
go to
guys.
Idaho.
Love you, Joe. Love you, Lindsay, everybody. We'll see you soon.
See you, Dan.
Guys, thanks, Sam. Thank
Bye.
you guys.
See ya.
Bye.
Can we take a trip to Idaho?
Yeah, we can. We should do in the future more show trips because
We were just talking about this drunk yesterday.
Yeah. I was telling Daniel we were both sitting there watching
call me
football
Daniel.
and we were drunk and
You were.
That's
I
when
didn't-
your
well, I
best
couldn't
ideas
tell.
come, right?
Were you really high?
no.
He's
I
guy's.
had CBD.
He's changed his life. He's
CBD heavy.
This guy was all
I had CBD,
water.
a lot of
He
THC.
kept it between the lines. All water. He's eating like healthy. He didn't drink me. I sit there like a fat sad blob, just
No, we're
swilling
good.
the drinks.
Well, there's a reason for it, and also I can't day drink anymore because when it gets time to put the kids to bed, I get them useless.
Oh yeah.
And I'm too
I
tired.
can autopilot that for some reason. I don't remember a lot of it, but I can get her. And Andrea's like, "You did a great job on bath time last night." I'm like, "What?
yeah.
That's not good."
But we do. Me and Daniel were like, man, we have this job where you can do it from anywhere, and we can record mobily from anywhere now with the equipment and technology is there.
Sure.
So like we should do more mobile recordings. But the problem is, I don't know how you guys feel about this, but anytime we do mobile recordings, it's always harder to get the vibe right. It has to be, it's hit or miss. You know what I'm saying?
It can be really good, or it could just be meh.
Yeah. So I always worry about the miss part because we feel most comfortable in the studio. At least I do. Like when we get, but it's good to get out of our comfort level. So we should do more mobile shows. Oh no.
No, everything's fine. I'm just looking at this weird. I can always snag it from someplace else.
It just stopped it.
Yeah, it's fine. It's just
Show's
weird.
falling apart.
Something's weird. I think this computer's finally taking a pill. Continue doing what you're doing. Everything's fine. I can grab it from Twitch.
Okay, yeah.
We didn't lose anything. I'm just over here. I didn't want you guys to. I'm like looking at this. I'm like, what the
I
fuck is
did
happening?
start a list for months ago when we were talking about doing go-to shows, and this was before the whole pandemic happened. And what the three I have down for whatever reason is Cheesecake Factory. I think that's because I said I had never been, and then you guys are like, we want to take you because you said how ridiculous the decor is and how ridiculous the menu is.
It's all weird, opulent 90s garbage.
We
It's
also have
fantastic.
Big Lots. on the list.
I think
and-
Tom's thinking more across the nation.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But this is like stuff we could do.
No.
Now. And
Paris, France.
And then I have
Yeah.
Hooters is on the list.
Like
Oh, yeah, Hooters I would take over Paris,
Okay.
France.
Yeah.
I love Hooters.
Like I want to go to go on a trip. Like
we can go to Idaho and steal some of Dan Cummins' ideas.
Yeah. But then again,
And work our way on his shows. He can make us famous.
Yeah. His show's big time now. It's traveling is a pain in the goddamn dick though. Like
You'd have to make it worth it. It
Yeah,
couldn't
yeah.
just be like a weekend.
yeah.
It'd have to be like a full week.
Because just like getting on the plane, we're about to do that, and I've heard like Crystal's sister still flies as a flight attendant, so she tells us all about like how plane flights are and stuff, and it seems fine, but it seems like way more of a hassle, especially with the pandemic, and then so like the travel time is way more cumbersome.
Yeah.
And so it better be worth it. Because then I can imagine how mad you're going to be if you get to a place that you're really not super happy to be, like.
What are your plans for this vacation when you get to Colorado? Do you have an actual plan, or are you just kind of willy-nilly whatever you decide to do that day?
We've got a itinerary. I just asked Crystal to send me the itinerary, and then whitewater rafting is one of them.
Oh my God, Tom, you're gonna die.
What do you mean? No, it's
That's not crazy.
It's kids friendly whitewater.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
our boys are gonna be on there.
Yeah, it's not crazy.
And they send you down a little ripples.
Yeah, you get a
see the
couple of
mountains,
things.
yeah.
You take a
Alright.
picture. You do a sack lunch
yeah.
with the guide.
With
you
his
know.
orbiness, I don't know that this is a great idea,
Well,
but okay.
I'm not blowing up the tube and like getting
Yeah,
in
I
there.
it's
understand,
fine. These guys do
but
it for
Th-
forever.
these things follow you wherever you go.
Then we're gonna do like a bicycle
Oh,
tour.
fuck that thing. I already did that.
bicycle
You
tour.
can take the bicycle tour and shove it up your ass. Fuck that.
yeah,
And
that's
I
what I
love
wanna-
bikes. I love
Yeah.
bicycles. I ride them every day.
Then I want to do some sort of Jeep tour.
That'd be fun.
A lot of tours.
Yeah. Like because
He's basically
What are you gonna
going
do that
there
your
to
kids want to do?
He's flying to Colorado to drive a Jeep, okay?
I feel like you could do that here.
in my fantasy. Okay,
It's not about. I've been trying to teach you this.
Yeah.
By the way, I saw Tom's awesome playground. By the way, the kids loved it. They played
Right.
on it. Maisie loved it. Played on it.
All about 5 or 6 minutes.
But they did
Oh.
all about 5 or 6. Then all they wanted to do is have Uncle Tom use his power washer to spray the slime off of the concrete.
Oh,
They
Dude,
love that.
I'm impressed at how. Okay, so I'm swinging Tommy and Max right with full force, and because they like give us 100%, so I give them 100%.
He's giving them the strong man pushing.
And then Maisie wanted to go, and then I was like, all right, 10 more swings. So I counted down, and then I'm like, all right, one of you got to give up your
Switch
swing
out,
for Maisie.
yeah.
So Max said, I'll give up my swing. So he got
Gentleman.
off. And then Maisie went to go run, and she was like, she wasn't paying attention of where Tommy was still swinging. So she went to go run to Max's swing, and Tommy hit her with full force on the swing, like coming back down. Hit her. She hit the ground fast. Like full force, like that was when she got muddled. I was like, oh my God!
She was like, gun!
And then she got back up, sprung back up, and walked out. I'm like, oh, you okay? You okay? Like, of course, I'm baby.
your baby, you're like you with your
It's fine.
sons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's what turns them into babies.
Right.
I'm like, oh my God, are you okay? Oh God.
And
Oh,
she's like, shut up, old man, and push me.
She's like, get your grubby mitts off me, Weinstein.
Give me 100.
I'm screaming towards the heavens on my knees. I'm like, no!
I've Carol Daniels.
Only daughter.
What's your name again?
And she's completely fine,
Yeah,
tough
she
as
was
hell.
good. She's fine.
And anyway, that's so and
So
then,
let's travel, huh?
All right, let's do it.
Look, I don't have kids to drag along with me, so it's not that bad for me. You guys got to
Mm.
bring the kids.
Well, we don't have to.
But again, it's
we could do a show RV and be gone like in weeks. I don't want to be away from my kids. but-
I'm doing this
my kid.
trip because in my mind it's gonna be something like a memorable outdoorsy.
Yeah, but your
like-
kids hate the outdoors.
Yeah, but it's better than the COVID staying inside. Now I see what you're. I just want to go somewhere.
So-
I don't care where I'm going.
Right.
So, well, I mean, I guess flying there is, sketchy, but other
I
than
think it's just as safe as anything
it's
else,
fine, yeah,
man.
yeah, whatever. I'm
I
not
mean,
worried about it.
I got a kid in school because I kind of have to have a kid in school.
Yeah.
I don't know. I look at it about
yeah.
the same.
Yeah.
You know, in fact, probably sending her to school They're kids.
Yeah,
I
it's
feel like
fine.
the flying's probably safer.
Yeah, I'm not worried
I don't
about that. But anyway, I'm going out there, and all these little excursions and stuff are expensive, and so I'm thinking we're gonna be whitewater rafting. My tummy mask will be like, like this is the most fun in the world. This is, but we want to live here, whitewater rafting. Daddy is the best. It's not gonna
doesn't
be
work
there.
like that.
They're gonna be there. They're gonna be freezing.
They hate it. Then you're fighting with Crystal because they hate it. Then afterwards, the restaurant you want to go to is closed because you got the hours wrong. You got to get takeout from Qdoba. It's cold. You get back to the place. You're still fighting.
It's all COVID
You want
everywhere.
to fuck. Wife's on the period.
Yeah. They're.
I know. I've done this.
They're like we're going down. I'm looking. I'm like, isn't this beautiful? Max is on his Kindle playing in the
Kids
bottom.
don't care about landscape.
No.
Because it's a really smooth rapid. He's a waterproof Kindle.
It's all about my selfish dreams of going
Now
to
you
the
get it.
great outdoors and having this fantastic family experience.
Well, you need to do it with
Now
just you and your wife, and do like Dan, and just don't give a fuck if your kids care about it or not.
Not bring my friends? I could just have the croak yelling at me.
Yeah, but your friends, which I'm assuming you mean as your children, they don't care.
I know. but
what does anyone care is what you really have to ask. Do you and your wife even care?
In my mind, I pretend that they are going to care.
You're a
and
crazy
it's gonna be-
I've never heard you
meanwhile,
okay, I've never
it's
heard.
all gonna be.
In fact, the last time we went, I thought you and your wife didn't want to go whitewater rafting when we went.
She didn't want to go.
So
now what happened?
My question is, does anyone want to go?
No.
I would say,
wants to go,
except for you.
Yeah.
So
She's gonna
Tanya,
be
Max,
too
and Crystal
cold.
all hate the whitewater. Well, then pick something everybody likes.
Well, no, I have
Pick your battles, dude.
I've manipulated them into liking it because I told them all the good things. Like, oh, it's gonna be like, remember like El Rio Loco and the Bahamas. It's gonna be like that because
You told them it was like a water park. Oh man, it's not like a water park.
Yeah, but that's they remember they had fun there at the Atlantis El Rio Loco.
El Rio Loco.
And so I'm like, remember, it's like that El Rio
You're
Loco.
gonna yourself without even knowing it. You're gonna turn your children against you because they're just gonna look at you as a liar.
Yeah, they're
no.
Dude, this is gonna backfire.
No,
Because you're gonna
No.
keep doing little stuff like this, and then they're gonna be like, "Dad's a fucking liar."
Well, no, I didn't say.
You said this was Rio Loco.
This isn't fun.
It's a river and there's like rapids and you're going on a
but
boat.
Rio Loco is clean.
Why isn't the bottom not that clean?
It's cleaner than some,
No, that's a Colorado River. There's nothing cleaner
but
than
there's
that.
hippies upstream shitting in it.
It's cold
Butler.
and it's
Yeah,
not.
there's Butler up there. He's dancing around to the Grateful Dead.
Singing his
doing
didgeridoo.
Mini Burning Man.
It's not a water park, so it's just cold and it's outdoors.
There's
and
also no
Slightly
ice cream,
more
no French
dangerous.
fries, no
Yeah.
corn
Right.
dogs, no fun, no tropical music.
Yeah.
no Bahamian braiding your hair.
Yeah, there's just some hippie who's going to say, look over there, look.
Yeah. Again, it's all about the fantasy, and
Hey, I'm with you. I say do it.
not about the reality. Yeah, because if
You got to do it.
because if I don't, I can look at anything and shit on it and be
Oh,
like,
yeah.
it's all gonna be not what I imagine it
You
to
can
be.
do hot springs. We did that. That's fun.
Yeah. But then it's I know the hot springs they have like water slides and things, but
Yeah, that's fun.
The thing is, it's going to be like 73 high
that's
during the
perfect.
day. But then a little nippy.
With the water, it's a little
Oh,
cold.
right, for swimming.
Like
You're right.
It's like, what is it, 73 in here? And I'm wearing
No, it's like fucking 60 degrees in here.
Butler, what does it say on the
It's cold.
on the
I got
nest?
my hoodie on.
Yeah,
There's no way it is 73 degrees in
No,
here.
it's too cold.
Yeah.
It's colder than 73.
It's 73
That gauge
in
is
office,
wrong.
The office might be 73, but in this room, I think it's 40.
It's
And
cold.
in the lobby, I think it's like...
Yeah. 73 is pretty cool outside. Like,
it is.
If it's 73 high, that's Florida winter. Like,
Right.
if we walk outside 73, we're wearing hoodies and shit. Like,
Yeah.
so, the kids will be freezing. Spend all my money.
Pack accordingly.
All
Hey, better than staying inside. Watch it.
Is
Is
it?
it really?
Because they're going to be crying and
Watching
complaining.
Jimmy Fallon and the Roots do another song with Ariana Grande because we're all in
Jesus.
quarantine.
All right. We'll be back with more A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan.
Hey, it's your OG show of the week. It is all the way back from, give me a date, June 24th of 2016, entitled Show Number 372, Dr. Unky versus Eric Weber.
No.
What happened to that guy?
I don't know.
Now, I do
He
believe.
still talks to Tuttle, right?
Yeah, he does. I'm sure we could get him on the show. We never Here's the thing with Weber. We never really gelled because Weber wants to be taken seriously, and he wants us to kind of genuflect at his movie knowledge, and you and I don't care. And all we want to do is make fun of him and just play around and make jokes. And I just don't get I'm trying to be serious. I just don't get the vibe that he wants to do that. I do know that I believe he got a divorce, not trying to get in his business, but he's out there in the West Coast doing his thing. Still don't fully understand what he does or if he's just independently wealthy. Have no idea really about the guy. He came to my wedding. So
Did he?
Yeah, he's a bit of a mysterious individual.
Yeah.
I don't really and truly know that much about him.
Yeah, me neither. I never talked to him outside of
Went
the
to dinner
show.
with him a couple of times. Nice guy, great guy, great family.
Yeah,
have no problem with it whatsoever, but kind of keeps things close to the vest. Is a little more mysterious than you would think.
Definitely mysterious.
Yeah. Sometimes he's at the Golden Globes, the Emmys. He's, and I'm like, why are you there? Sometimes he's got a Tony Stark goatee that's jet black. Sometimes he's got gray hair.
He's standing in front of a green screen and pretending he's.
No, he gets passes into going to those things.
Because he got into. Okay,
there are people dinner.
There are people that learned how to manipulate the system to get into these things, even though.
Well, like August. Well, even his dad.
Yeah, Gus.
Gus knows how to go.
Yeah, and if you're good at learning the procedures, then you can get the movie premiere tickets, and you can get the red carpet invite to stand as like a audience while people, all these things. Then you learn the media route of it. So like a lot of
he's a tomato meter approved critic.
Yeah, because he filled out the paperwork enough.
Eric Weber.
No, he also takes it seriously. So I would say that he'd be a good guy for you to have on there.
So if you can get
I'm looking at all his ratings now to see what kind of movies he likes.
If you just learned how to, your wife would be great at this. Like your wife, through organization and proper paperwork and procedure, she could do just about anything probably. You know what I'm saying? Like
she knows how to do the
media pass.
Correctly.
Remember, she used to do all the media passes
and to stay on top of it. Yeah,
I've never in my entire career.
He's looking crazier than ever. Look at his Twitter.
Was it?
He looks like a villain.
He's a social media
He's got these wavy
influencer.
salt and pepper black and white hair, like wavy and like kind of pushed back. He's got a evil genius mustache with a little goatee and a soul patch, and then he's got a pink bandana wrapped around his neck.
I think
tanner than ever.
You can just figure out how how the system works, and then insert yourself into that.
He's the editor-in-chief at Awards Ace, which is the leading source for Oscars and Golden Globe predictions.
That's his company. That's his thing.
I know.
Is it?
Yeah. It's like, it's kind of like me saying I'm the, owner of T&D Media, except what I do is an actual company.
Right.
Well, because nowadays you can just start your own thing, and it's up to people's perception whether gone are the days that there are still legitimate sources obviously, but it gets real watered down in the middle where you could have something and you're like, I'm the leading source in Oscar news and I don't know anything about that shit.
Well, Jim Phillips used to say it all the time. We're the #1 rated show of its kind anywhere on the planet.
Yeah, because you say of its kind, you could get away with it. It's manipulating words.
I have no time anymore for the bullshit. I just want to know what you do. Is this I have another friend, I'm not going to say her name, but she travels all around the world. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah. Oh, I often don't know what people do.
I am done with the bullshit. I want to know what you do, and you can't say, "Oh, I have a website and I rape." No, you don't do that. No. Are you living off your fucking parents' money?
Yeah.
Are you living off of
some
a settlement?
Fund,
I want to know. Yeah. I have no time for the bullshit.
Yeah, I contend that most people that you see that you can't figure out how they're making a living. Now, you know what? I may be bullshitting because people did that with us with the podcast for the longest time. Now that's done, and now it's
but we had multiple jobs, Orlando City, and then we're doing this, that, and the other thing, and odd jobs, and then small videos, and then writing commercials for furniture
and it's
companies.
also not that difficult to understand how sponsorships and commercials work.
That's what I used to say, but people...
Also, it's none of your business, too. You reserve that right for me to say,
Sure.
hey, all bullshit, what do you really do? And you can say none of your business. That's fine, but I'm just saying I want to know.
Samantha, I used to say the same thing. Was like, it's the same, because people on radio would be like, I don't understand what you do and how you do it. How are you guys doing this? And I'm like, it's the same business you're doing.
Right.
What do you don't understand about it? It literally is not. We're not talking like
it's literally how much effort you put into making it a business.
Right.
If you have a band and you just do practices every week at your house, but you're not going out booking gigs,
But here's
then
the
it's,
problem.
it's not a paying gig.
But if you're out there paying,
right.
getting paid,
but you have to go out there and hustle.
But here's the problem, you guys. With Eric, and I like Eric, so I'm not saying anything bad about him. It's not a besmirch his name or anything.
No.
He is not the type of person where he is going to give me a straight answer as to what he does, what his website is, how he gets into these things. He wants to keep all of that like some sort of fucking mystery. And then that makes me...
It makes me sketch city.
Yeah, and then it makes me go like, well, if you don't trust me enough to tell me on the real how the fuck you're doing this...
I don't even know who you are, dude.
Yeah, then whatever.
I think, you know what? I think the psychology there is the mystery is what...
is greater than the actuality of how he's able to do it.
And so if he actually wrote it down and like, all right, I just emailed this person's in charge of letting people in the red carpet, and because I've had a good track record and blah, 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 and then there's a rating system.
Then don't try to make it something it's not.
And then I get the interviews with this person, and then my website has this subscriber and this, it's like when you break it all down, it's like explaining someone a magic trick. Then you take the magic away, and then it's just,
well, no,
that's how you did it.
Or you give me the actuality of what it is.
Yeah. But we like hearing the actuality, and other people don't like it. I'm telling you.
So what are you selling? Are you selling the idea of being there?
No, you're selling the persona of what other people think you're. No, and this has nothing to do with
So
Eric,
him going there means less than people thinking he goes there means more.
Yes. Because if he's there, then it's how did he get there? He must be important,
right?
He must, someone must have invited him. This important,
right?
He must be a big shot. Like, not that
we played that game before. Sure,
like, I am not specifically talking about Weber. I have no idea.
We've done it. We've done it with certain.
You fake it till you make it.
Well, like certain clients, like there's no Halloween Horror Nights this year, but normally we would advertise for them, and that looks really good on our website. So I get it. I understand.
Yeah.
You put, hey, Halloween Horror Nights is in cahoots with us because it looks good to everybody else out there. So I understand what it is, but just sometimes, like, it used to make me mad. I'm like, well, how are you doing it? And it's like, oh, well, I can't reveal myself. No, okay, well, then fuck off.
Right.
Well,
and I get to a point where I'm just like,
there's a lot.
And I'm in a bad mood just because of recent events.
Yeah.
Not really. You know what I mean.
There are a lot of people that have some sort of money from whoever, like it's either leftover from some sort of, like Daniel said, a settlement or an inheritance,
trust fund
or
of some sort,
some money that they have. It could be like not some ridiculous amount, but it could be like $400,000. And you could stretch out $400,000 with some investments and stuff where it's leaking you enough money to be
live,
fine.
yeah.
And then with your passion, whatever that is, you're getting a little bit, not as much to make a living, but just a little bit.
Yeah.
But
you just want the boat to leak enough so when it sinks, it's on your death day, right?
But it's better to leave it up to everybody to believe that you're making all your money through this passion that you're doing or whatever project, or rather than tell people, like, because I think it's a blow to your ego, or some sort of, it's frowned upon, or like people look at you less if you say, like, I got an inheritance, or I got money that was, a settlement or something, and I use that to live or something. It shouldn't be.
I'd have more respect for that person. I'd be like, that's rad.
It's people are weird.
Yeah, I'd be
man.
like, good on you. I'd high five that person. When they lie to me, though, and try to get me to think that their leading prediction websites what's propping up the family, then I go, that's weird.
But there's a lot
It's also none of my business. I would like to reiterate
Yes,
that.
yeah. And I've been surprised before when I first started realizing the business model of like the influencers and the websites and the Facebooks and the podcasts. It's like I understand the business a lot more. So then when I talk to some of these people that have especially huge followings, I understand clearly where their revenue's coming in, and it is staggering how much sometimes it is. And then I'm like, holy shit!
Yeah, it's
like, when you're making
stupid money,
six figures a month, it's it's ridiculous, and that would blow people's minds. It's just what the actual ceiling to what you can make is. But again, that's with people where they have hundreds of thousands of subscribers on YouTube, or we're talking a lot more. Because it's proof. Like, okay, if you've got, tens of thousands of followers, then I understand. But if you have a website and social media for okay, you got 3,500 Twitter followers, and then you got this website, and I just don't buy that you're making a full living off of that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no,
I have to see some numbers to, you're not a social media influencer professionally if you have under 10,000 followers, right?
Then he's not a social media influencer.
Let's see. We got on this particular show, you've got Angel
Rivera.
Yeah, Angel's on there. We drank with Bert Kreischer because this is actually the show after Bert.
So did he stick around?
No. We're just drunk going into this show.
Oh.
We talked to D-Rug about the movie he was in, Trapping Out the Uber.
Oh, yeah.
I still need to see that.
Cupcake the Rapper. Trinity Tattoo stops by.
You know what? I'm actually remembering this day. Now we're getting into the OG shows where...
You remember?
Because I'm sitting in now, I'm like, oh, yeah.
This is when Weber was coming back to Orlando, so that's why we talk about that.
Yeah,
Because for I want to say for 2 weeks, he was going to be on Channel 6 or 35.
Yeah, 35,
and then the deal fell through or something.
And then it was mysterious.
Yeah.
And everybody's talking.
That's when it got weird. Then I'm texting him, hello? And
right.
Because he gets weird sometimes.
Dude, the news industry is bizarre.
It is bizarre.
Think about what...
Super cutthroat, horrible.
Yeah. And really, it's just turned into if you are really good-looking person and can read the teleprompter and play that's what the news presenter needs to be. So it's a set of skills that it really has nothing to do with journalism or anything like that. It's just
are you pleasing to the eye and can you deliver things correctly?
Yes, and maintain a personal life that's not full of bullshit.
Yeah,
or
you got to be kind of
nefarious.
boring.
Yeah, boring.
Yeah,
good looking.
God, I know one.
Can
I
you
can't
read
say who
the goddamn
it is
teleprompter?
either. He's a friend of the family, but there's a guy in town that's a newscaster, and he's super boring, almost to a nerd category.
Yeah.
He's like a nerd dad.
Yeah,
but man, is he good.
Yeah, that's what you need to be. And then
he's a good-looking nerd dad. That's what he is.
Yes, yeah.
I won't say who it is, but if you put all three of those clues together, you can figure it out.
Yeah. And
if you're the nicest man.
Yeah. I think I know who you're talking about too. Yeah. And if you're a good-looking nerd dad, you could find a nice sweet spot in the news. The problem is as a man, you could age with it. Women get screwed because
it's not fair. Yeah.
They have to keep it up and keep a certain amount of level. But
there've been some newscasters in Orlando that have hung on pretty well for ladies that have been like Marty Salt and some of these ones that.
Yeah.
Old Claire Metz. I love me some Claire Metz.
We need
to
get her in here.
I shouldn't say old Claire Metz, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
she's phenomenal.
Do it chatting with the Masters with Claire Metz.
I think if you could stay in it and work your way up and get to that anchor spot, like Sagowski, what is she making? Like $350 a year more,
at least,
something like that.
I think when she, who knows now?
Yeah.
But when she originally had waited out that year and got that deal, I think that was her biggest deal.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Because people talk about making six figures, and that's fine, but most people barely breach into six figures, low.
Oh, she's making fat six.
It's not the common. Yeah.
When you're making over 250, then that you're talking about a different.
It's a different type of wage, I think. Yeah.
Now you're into the. I would consider that you're wealthy at that point.
Well, you certainly don't want for anything.
Yeah.
At all.
Because at that kind of money, you could basically get your mansion. It depends on where you live too. Shit. If you live in California or in LA, making $250 isn't that that's like making $100,000 here in Florida. You know what I'm saying?
I'm really worried about is my buddy Dave. Here's a guy that
top
of his game, owns his own company.
He's smart. He probably pivoted to something though.
Yeah, but honestly, I think what he wants to do has absolutely nothing to do. I think he wants to he and his girl, they got married about 2.5 years ago or so. I think he just, with the fires in California, with his, he works in movies, with that being just kind of decimated right now. I think he just wants to pack up, sell everything, and just travel and have fun with his wife.
Really?
And I said, dude, I think that's a fantastic idea.
Yeah. Shit. I mean,
because he's smart enough to do anything, but I know he truly loves film.
Yeah.
And it's sad for me to see somebody because this is what I want to do, and I get to do it. So, and I feel like all of us in here, for the most part, feel the same way. We're very lucky that this is works out pretty good during this time, but not for him. And I just told him, because obviously he got in touch with me because of my mom, and we just started talking. I feel really bad for him because, there's people out there, not only, imagine if your job was dead, but now where you live is now on fire. My God, you can't even enjoy the beauty that is the area that you live in.
The fires, God, like we complain about hurricanes all the time, but I'd much rather, because the hurricanes, I mean, it's pretty rare that we'll get a direct hit, and most of the time we'll just get effects from it, and it'll be a pain in the ass. And then we dread having to lose our power, especially in Central Florida. If you live on the coast, you have a different worry. Yeah, you're worried about your whole goddamn house being washed away. But
dying,
if you're inland Florida, you're like, okay, worst case probably tree falls through my house, maybe worse. But most likely worst case will be out of power and pain in the ass. And then, but it's still, even for it to come close enough to hit us, still rarity, like maybe we won't even get one this year, like little effects here and there. But the fires, my God, like then your whole air quality and, that and fire.
I think that's why he kind of wants to get out of there. I think he's just kind of like,
yeah. And it seems like it's not like, well, this is the last year of fires.
Right.
It seems like it's becoming every year just fires, then out and fires.
Droughts,
Like I don't want to. Every year you're gonna be like, oh, well, here come the fucking fires again. God damn.
I know it's really, really sad. Yeah. After this particular show with Eric Weber, or Dr. Unky versus Eric Weber, after that you get a Gentleman's Guide to Manliness entitled Juicers.
All right.
Which I believe you and I had referred to titties, calling them juicers, and then I'm assuming Kramer got uncomfortable and mad.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But,
he used to hate it when we would do that. I do love some juicers, though.
Yeah.
Little juicers, big juicers, skinny, flat, more nip than tit. I don't care. Any juicer's okay with me.
Yeah. I'll look at it. Whoa.
Yeah.
All right. Enjoy the show.